That's the popular name of the Raytown division. So I think what they are trying to do now is just to tie up the loose ends and ensure that they milk that division because the PMP will be coming particularly strong in the Almonton area. But because of our presence there as well, whatever gain they're seeking to make, it is being neutralized consistently by Member of Parliament Williams. And as a result of that, I am not putting it past him. Yeah, look at the local numbers, the PMP would be ahead somewhat about what 300, 400 votes. Yeah, but we can do it because people will also be going out there, not just voting for Donovan, not just voting for the Labour Party, but also voting Prime Minister Holness.
And then, my friend, how do you explain what is happening over there in Hanover?
All right. I mean, I have to ask myself the question the other day, and I'm saying it is absolutely sad. I know Western Hanover particularly have a way of, voting PMP MP. The PMP literally held that seat before I was born until 31 years, which ended in 2020. So yeah, I was born after the 89 election, which is 92, 3 years after that. And I can tell you that Western Hanover doesn't surprise me. The lead the PMP has, though, I can tell you, the lead the PMP have in Hanover, it's like if they get back Western Hanover, that's not what really the challenge. But there is a lot of apathy right now for the Labour Party in Eastern Hanover. When I went through the local election, I recognized that in Eastern Hanover in particularly, the PMP did not move an inch in terms of gaining on the Labour Party. Honestly, they moved in Hopewell and Sandy Bay, Hopewell and Chester Castle. When I checked the numbers, about 1,554 Labourites across those two divisions did not participate in the local election. And when you look at 1,554 over the JLP base in the seat of about 6,000, that's 25.9% apathy that we're having in Eastern Hanover right now by itself.
So we're looking better in Eastern Hanover than the West.
We're looking better in terms of the fact that we have dormancy, we have apathy, people not participating in the polls, giving the impression that they're upset. They are not going PMP, but they're just flat. The Labour Party is absolutely flat in Eastern Hanover. The Sparks Road has gone some way and the reach now. I trust and hope that Dave can build on that. But everybody in Jamaica would know that the PMP would have won that constituency on 8 times, the JLP on 9 occasions. So it's really a battleground seat. It's really a seat of interest when you go to an election. It's not traditionally one that goes to the winning party, but most often it goes to the winning party. All we need to do is just to go back in Hopewell, go back in Chester Castle, find what is the reason that is affecting those 1,554 Labourites who decided that I was not voting in the local. The PMP didn't move in that seat. In Western Hanover, the PMP surged back to their dominance. In Eastern, it's a lot of JLP apathy that's affecting them right about now.
So in terms of the overall position, Odion, where does it stand? Looking at the polls, your own polls, which suggest a 5% and Blue Dot 6%. How many seats is that giving you?
In terms of Hanover or in terms of the national projection?
National.
The national projection, I don't look at what the percentage of the poll says for me to determine how many seats the party will win. I still think the JLP have quite a bit of work to do in terms of tying up loose ends, go out there, execute. So I am looking right now for the Labour Party at 36 seats. At the moment, the work will have to be done for us to get to 40 or ever return to 49. And if we win 36 seats, that's literally a 9-seat parliament.
So the projection right now is 36?
36-27.
But that is not good news at all, Odion. I mean, based on your performance in government, you should be doing better than that.
Government doesn't win election though. Your canvas, your enumeration exercise, you being in touch with the people, you coordinating, you organizing, you know where your voters are, you know what ground you need to cover in terms of margin, you know in which PD you need to increase in if you're to flip something. And if that work is not done, then I'm sorry, it's going to take a Herculean effort for some of these new candidates to return. I really want
say that again, because there are some people predicting 55 seats. You think they are in a dream, eh?
I am one of the Labourites that I will tell you, my party means a lot to me. I support the party wholeheartedly. I would love to see the JLP actually dominating the PNP. But when I come to really give my party the best and true reflection of what the situation is, I intend not to use emotion, but rather use the data and look at where we really need to improve and try and see if I can move 36 into 40, into 42 and continue, rather than just actually using the emotions and then people get the idea that, okay, we're now so safe in Big Rob seat, so we can just try and go somewhere else. We need to work on those seats because they can be retained and returned to the party. But we can't be arrogant or ignorant about the reality as well.
And Odion, what numbers do you have for a Tove Hamilton?
Tove Hamilton in Northern Trelawney. Her situation is no different from Mrs. Holness in terms of what she has to do. She has to milk the Wakefield division, which is her strongest division. She will also have to go into Sherwood content and deliver some sort of margin there as well. And she will have to reflip the Duncan's division that the PNP took in the local election. That's normally a JLP division. So if she goes there and wins those 3 divisions, the question is, can she go and win Marthabury as well? And if not, can she hold it by losing by 100? If that's the case, in good standing. And
what about Falmouth division?
I'm going there. The trick with Falmouth, Tova will have to be leading by even 1,500 votes from the other divisions put together. Because when you go to Falmouth, I can tell you, the numbers from 2024 local election, Tova literally would have lost the seat, and the JLP literally had a 1,200 and something lead. After those 4 divisions, the PNP won Falmouth by 1,500 votes and would have won the country.
So Falmouth is a very big division then. A lot of votes there.
It's the smallest division in terms of electors, sir. But here the trick about it is the ratio of PNP to JLP is about 3-1. So every time I get 1,000 votes, they can get 3,000 and build a 2,000 lead, and it's just like that.
So we'll have to maximize back Duncan, get back Duncan, and try our best in Marthabury.
I hope we were enumerating though in Duncan's, because one thing happened in Duncan's and many persons have not taken note of it. The JLP has always and most consistently won the Duncan's division, even in a local election. You realize that we have lost it now? All right.
Yes, I realize that.
The reason for that is, and you realize that Marisa Dalrymple Philibert has won Ulster Spring Division?
Yes.
All right, so 12 PDs were taken out of Duncan's that have more JLP votes and push over into Ulster Spring in South Trelawney, and Dalrymple moved from 3 divisions to 4, and we lost the Duncan's division as a result of that as well.
Oh.
Yeah, 12 boxes to make up because South Trelawney was in breach of the lower limit by the Constitution of Jamaica for it to be
give them. So I have to give them back some PDs.
You have to give them back some PDs so that they can now meet the lower limit quota.
So you think she can come off? You think she can come off better in Marthabury though?
Yes, Marthabury is an absolute marginal division. Sometimes the JLP lost by 115 or 1 by 100. It is very, very marginal. It doesn't go much more than that. Once you go out there and you maintain that number, all we need to do though is to ensure that we are heavy, super heavy Sherwood content, Wakefield and Duncan's. Once that job is done and we can really improve from the 999 in Falmouth, man, and get to about 1,200 votes, even if they get them 2,000, don't pay that mind. The JLP have to find something though in Falmouth. It's not about winning, it's about crunching in or closing in on the percentage meter.
So if we should go by the local election numbers, we would have lost by about 100 votes.
No, we'd have actually lost the seat by about 400 votes.
400 votes, yeah.
Take him over to my brother. I know you may be pressed for time, but Westmoreland is surprising a lot of people to see that the Labour Party seem to be ahead in Westmoreland. What explains that?
All right, so the Jamaica Labour Party coming in from even 2011, if we have noticed a consistent movement in terms of the Jamaica Labour Party's base. I think a lot of persons recognize that we are getting closer to an election. The Labourites start to feel the energy again. People start to look at now and really start to weigh the performance of the government and start to, even when they're upset, because a lot of our people too are upset, but when they look the option. Do I really go PNP or do I continue with the person and the government that we have now? Sometimes it's not what you really don't have. It's just that some people just want more. But when they realize, guess what? You get four dumpling. You get four dumpling on your plate. You want the JLP to get you 5. But when they look back on it and say, it's not the JLP though, the PNP only got him a 1 or none. You know what? I'm sticking with the 4 dumpling, even though I wanted 5. So,
George Wright in Central, I understand
he is particularly the one, and that seat as well. It's the easiest of the 3 for the JLP to win.
Yes.
Based on the sheer number of labor rights in that seat. That seat, literally, JLP can turn up and find 9,000 JLP votes.
What about Daniel Lawrence? He won that seat by about 9 votes.
11 votes. That he won it by 0.1%.
How did he perform in the last local?
Absolutely dismal. Absolutely dismal. I think it's gonna be a tough break. The PNP literally run up the numbers by 2,700. That's what they're leading by now in that constituency. Yeah. So if you see the JLP leading 9% in the parish, the bulk of that 9%, trust me, about 6 to 7% perhaps in Central Westmoreland.
What about Moreland, Wilson?
Moreland might have another 2%, or he might be within the margin of error. But there's nothing in the lead that suggests in that 9 that is for Eastern Westmoreland.
So Danny have a lot of work to do though. Eastern Westmoreland, a lot of work.
Significantly. People don't like Dr. Campbell. A lot of people don't like him. But the challenge that the JLP has is the PNP at a normal base of 7,500. Even if the PNP turns up and poll 5,500 from the 7,500 short 2,000, will the JLP be prepared to hit 5,500? The last time we polled, we got 4,800, and that was our maximum number over many years. I trust and hope that Danny has grown the base. But if the base is not able to surpass 5,500, it's going to be a problem.
There is talk, Odion, that St. and Southeastern may be in play. Do you have numbers for that?
That is not going to be in play. If the JLP failed to win that seat in 2020, when we had a significant swing of 14% nationally for the Jamaica Labour Party, and we didn't do it, we lost the seat by 32 votes. The PNP is going to literally take back that constituency. And I can tell you that even the numbers that you're seeing being reported in the Southeast, that constituency, we have to factor PNP not turning out because of reasons, COVID, because of Andrew Holness was doing very well, was popular, people appreciated how we managed COVID, and so many other things. Didn't like Mark Golding. The PNP was just in turmoil as they had matter of leadership and all of that. What I can tell you though is that the Jamaica Labour Party is in pole position to dominate, to decimate the PNP in St. Ann, just that I don't see us winning Southeast St. Ann. The other 3, absolutely.
Is 3-1 in St. Ann?
That is correct.
What about Michelle Charles in St. Thomas?
Michelle Charles in St. Thomas. She seems to have picked up some sort of,
attraction.
Yeah, again, the numbers from the local though would have suggested otherwise. Yes. The confidence I have though is that she won division. She actually have councillors in that seat, and I like that, because for you to begin to show the people that look, this is possible, you have to have councillors, and that is good. So I think it is worth fighting. And the people will come to the realization that it makes sense you continue with the prosperity. In
the recent by-election, in the recent by-election in the Marant Bay division, we ran up our numbers by about 500.
Yes, and then the deficit was reversed by, I think they were ahead by something 402, and then we only lost now by 118. So therefore,
we cut that to 118.
Right. So whatever lead.
Go over to St. Elizabeth and then come to Clarendon. The listeners are killing me over here. So
I didn't want to talk to him about St. Thomas before you move.
go ahead, Riga.
First of
Welcome,
all, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world, and to the statistician eye-opening revelations. That being said, I was looking at the same St. Thomas, the St. Thomas by-election, and I noted that one thing of note, and I know that most people have not picked it up, is that the people did not vote against the government in those contested seats. They were marginally won by the PNP in strong PNP seats. And in
Yes.
terms of the mean gain, Michelle Charles has picked up quite a bit because just to repeat what you said, she overcame the deficit in the parish council election, and they kind of basically scraped through to win the by-election. So I am of the opinion that I'm also hopeful that that traction maintains and that she can carry that over into the general election to win the seat. I don't know if you share my view.
I definitely do. It's just that organization and work on the ground will matter. So I strongly agree with you. It was not a vote against us. I look at bridging the gap. I look at closing on whatever deficit that we had to make up prior.
Absolutely. Go
And I
on. When
think
you go
the PNP
Manchester, we have our little rabble rouse in there. Go on. Continue.
Yeah. So basically, no man, I'm just saying that I agree with most of what you have basically said. Is it true?
No problem. I'm just saying just one because you want to go to St. Elizabeth. That's all.
In Clarendon?
No, let's go St. Elizabeth first.
St. Elizabeth.
Northwestern. Start with Northwestern, where JC is retiring.
All right, so a very strong constituency for the Labour Party. And when I say strong constituency, I am not the typical Labourite that's weigh margin of victories, because margin of victory is basically nominal. I weigh the percentage margin of victory in terms of what you clear your opponent by. It's a seat that JC will not necessarily poll as much as the other persons in St. Elizabeth, but the PNP is not able to find enough votes in that seat to actually able to contest with a JC. So if JC even turn up with $5,000 tomorrow morning, the PNP will poll $2,000 and probably lose the seat by 3,000 votes. And you say, really $5,000 money for JC? Yes. Small seat in terms of electors, 21,000 and change on the voters list. The JLP should decimate the PNP in that seat with or without JC Hutchinson.
Is that our strongest St. Elizabeth seat?
That is correct.
Good. Then go over to Northeastern where slowly is. I hope Delroy is listening.
All right. So St. Elizabeth Northeastern, constituency traditionally represented and dominated by the opposition. They would have actually won that constituency ever since 89. We won it in 1980, defeating, I think, Sidney Pagan it is.
Yes.
Right? When J.C. Hutchinson himself, who is now the outgoing MP for Northwest, was our member of parliament in Northeastern at that time. Now, in 2020, another anomaly. Listen again, that's 40 years on. The JLP actually returned victory or green pastures to the people of Northeastern St. Elizabeth. When you look at the dynamics of the constituency, there are 4 divisions in the seat. You have Balaclava division, which have roughly about 5,100 votes. You have about 5,900 votes in Silo. You put that together, you roughly have about 10,000 mash, right? Those 2 divisions predominantly vote for the PNP election after election, particularly the Silo margins have always been favorable to them. The PNP has always used those 2 along with Braze River, which is the second largest numerical division and one of the PNP's strongest division over the years. But we have now since made some inroads in that division. Now, where the
strong in Santa Cruz.
The JLP is very strong in Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz division, almost, and let me say almost is half of the constituency in terms of electors. There are 15,000 voters in that one division.
You have 15,000 voters in Santa Cruz.
In Santa Cruz. So Braze River has Balaclava has 5,000, Silo has 5,000, Santa Cruz division alone still have 5,000 more votes than them put together.
So slowly can just maximize. Slowly just need to maximize Santa Cruz then.
That is correct. We have consistently won that division by about 2,100 votes. I think 3,100 is on the card. Once we do that, we can reverse the PNP.
Hello?
Flip 2,100 into 3,100 and the PNP is
Philippians whole retreat and republic. So you think Northeastern is a toss up?
It is a toss up because of the history. It is a marginal seat because the numbers suggest it, the history of the seat going to the opposition over the years, and the fact that even with the JLP doing well, you have to ask yourself the question. Our best performance in recent years was 7,055 votes by Delroy slowly. The PNP, they maxed out their vote in 2011, polling 9,000 and change under the so-called candidate, Wagana East Central, I think Kimago beat Terlang. That particular person was able to poll 9,000 for the PNP. So what
He paid a price.
Yeah, he paid a price for that. So the jail, I don't suspect the PNP will ever get back to 9,000 in that seat, but also the JLP has to be cognizant of the fact that though 7,000 by itself will not just do it if the PNP turns up some sort of number. So
the PNP now has 3 of the divisions in Northeastern.
But in terms of what Trelawney in Northern means for the PNP, Northeast is also that for the JLP, where one division can do the job for us as well if we play our cards right.
Yeah. And you think Braze River, Shiloh, and Balaclava, no matter what the PNP does for the numbers there, you can overcome that in Santa Cruz.
No, it matters what they do. If you don't stay close enough, so we are not planning to beat them. Just ensure that whatever your numbers are from 2020 in terms of the margin. So if them even go gain 500, make sure they gain 500 too, to keep the deficit alive, to keep that margin alive. So even if they run up the numbers, you end up gain more labor votes, still losing the division. So if you lose Balaclava by 500, if you lose the Silo division by say 1,000, that's 1,500, and if you lose Braze River by another 500, that's 2,000. As I said before, the JLP has won Santa Cruz by over 2,000 votes. So make sure you have the Santa Cruz margin.
Santa Cruz lock. You have to cruise in Santa Cruz.
You have to do not widen the 1,000 lead that they can beat you by in Silo, and do not widen the 500 here and there in Balaclava and Braze River, because once you do that, you're going to put Santa Cruz under more pressure to deliver even more.
Yeah. No, the weather vane seat of Southwest, where Floyd Green is, 5 percentage point ahead.
Significant at this point in time, very significant for the Labour Party when the PNP is even in normal time, even dominating elections in this country. The PNP has consistently won that constituency by 1%, not much more than that. When Tufton lost that seat in 2011, he lost that by 13 votes, perhaps less than a percentage point. Danny Buck, the father, when he won as well in 2002, was a similar situation, 1%. The JLP is stronger in the seat in terms of bringing out a bigger base because of the Mountainside division and particularly Pedro Plain as well. Those two divisions have more votes in them, and those are the two divisions that vote JLP. So even if the PNP run up Black River and run up Brampton, which Brampton has now been marginal and somewhat leaning towards us, the PNP can't do what we do. So once you get closer to an election, as long as Floyd is able to maximize across his 4 divisions, Southwest St. Elizabeth will be JLP. It is a weather vane, as you mentioned. It has consistently voted for the winning party. The only seat in Jamaica that has never, since creation, have had an opposition member of parliament.
So Pedro Plains and Mountainside, but these are quite populated. It's a populated constituency. A lot of people live there.
Yes,
and
the constituency have well over 34,000 registered electors, and more than half of that reside in Pedro Plain and the Mountainside division.
Which are Labour Party division based on the last parish council election. The Labour Party won those 2 divisions.
Right, and consistently winning those 2 divisions, even inside general election results as well.
So you need to be coming out of Black River dead even.
Not necessarily. The PNP can still even win Black River. The fact is, if the PNP win Black River by any margin that we win one of our division, let's say the JLP win Mountainside by 1,000, and the PNP win Black River by 1,000 as well. All right, to use that and you basically cancel out. When we win when we win Mountainside now by another 1,000, they don't have another division now to counteract that because
And
even
they
if
don't have enough votes in Pedro Plain to match your
no,
almost.
the thing is with the PNP, the struggle the PNP has is that 2 division is solid JLP. One can go PNP even if it is solid. The other one now is so marginal that it is not much for either party's Brampton. The PNP will not able to recover. Floyd is going to win the constituency. I have no doubt he's going to deliver for the Labour Party.
And then Franklin Witter, that is much closer.
It is much closer based on the polls, but I can say something to you. I don't necessarily believe that the poll will hold true when the election is called. And let me tell you why. When you're strong in Northwest St. Elizabeth, when you're strong in Southwest St. Elizabeth, Southeast St. Elizabeth will naturally come. And if you look at the local again, Witter, you talk about popularity of candidate, this is when it is actually going to play out for the JLP and Witter. Witter was literally way ahead of Floyd a couple months ago. Witter literally had a margin of victory over the PNP from the local election by 1,055 votes. Literally won in Southfield, in Junction, in Malvern, and literally closed the gap on the PNP in Myersville, which is the largest division numerically, and that's the strongest for the PNP. I suspect Witter will do much better than even what the poll is suggesting now, and with the momentum with the Labour Party, then I expect St. Elizabeth to go 3-1 and really and truly
3-1?
3-1.
So
no,
which one?
I mean 3-1 in terms of the worst case scenario. I put one out there already in a marginal column. Come to the JLP, we literally won by 100%. I'm not calling St. Elizabeth for love right now until it gets closer to the election.
You're putting slowly the margin.
Yeah, definitely. I had to put him in the marginal because of what the results from the local showed. I also had to put him in the marginal because of just the history and just the numbers that we don't have should they maximize to 9,000.
Jump over to Clarendon quickly for me. Henriquez over in Northwestern up against Hazan.
All right, so
Clarendon going back?
So Clarendon, no, I don't suspect Enriquez is going back. Clarendon has always been a parish that is very dear to me in terms of the politics, in terms of the expectation for the Labour Party. And if you look at Clarendon in recent years and so forth, what the JLP tend to get is a balance or a victory. We have never lost Clarendon in any general election since, I can't even remember when last we have lost Clarendon. I'm saying that to say, the worst Clarendon can ever go is a split 3-3, and I can tell you, I pick up something that most persons perhaps is not looking at. Despite the pressure, despite what people are saying in Northern Clarendon, I'll come to Northwest for a minute, but I want to talk on Northern Clarendon first, where Dwight Sibley's is the Member of Parliament. And I say Northern Clarendon because the gentleman earlier spoke on St. Thomas, the Mark Bay area, when we went to the by-election. Despite we losing Indian Town, a division that the PNP consistently would have won over the years, we won it by about 92 votes in February of 2024, and then we lost it in the by-election by 54 votes. And that 54 votes, when you roll that into the number or the margin that Dwight would have won the seat by, JLP would still have a lead in the constituency of North Clarendon. So I use that to, and Kellitz has always been JLP as well. When you go to a general election, so I expect Kellitz to be JLP. I add the PNP 54 margin in Indian Town to their base in Croft Sale and roll that into the constituency number in Kellitz, and the JLP would have come out on top by about 325. That's not a big lead, but for a seat that has always been marginal, been so dynamic, because that seat tend to vote in lockstep. And I say lockstep meaning that if Northern Clarendon goes to the PNP, we're going to fall trouble in Northwest and vice versa. And I think it's very important that we Northwest Clarendon get a good candidate, because that seat has great potential. Even have more Labourites than North Clarendon, to be honest, but we have not maximized ourselves over the years in Frankfield Division. And if we can get the votes out, then we'll do well, because that seat literally has flipped hands time and time again. If you look at the elections of '93, the PNP won that seat And when the JLP was literally totally wiped out across the country in 97, the JLP returned that
One,
constituency.
Northwestern.
Right, and then the PNP took it back in 2002 when we were picking up some steam. And then the JLP took it back in 07, and then the PNP took it back, and then the PNP maintained, and then the JLP took it back. So it is now for us now to follow trend and maintain again for a second term.
Sibley's, I understand, is a pretty likable guy.
Mm-hmm.
Are you seeing him having any problems over there?
I am not sure about him being a pretty likable guy in terms of the seat, because I don't really happen to be in around that seat on a day-to-day basis. I know
looking at the numbers, he's not doing badly in terms of the divisions. He has two.
He has one councillor now.
One.
Frankfield
and Thompson Town?
No, you mean you're referring to Dwight Sibley's. That's Northern Clarendon. So he has
yes.
Kellett's division, Kellett's. And the PMP has Croftsill and Indian Town.
Croftsill, yeah. It's 3 division, eh?
Right, in Northern Clarendon.
And he has 2. He has Indian Town and Kellett's.
No, he has Kellett's only. And the PMP has the other 2.
Are you sure?
He lost back Indian Town.
Yeah, he lost Indian Town in the by-election.
He lost back Indian Town in the by-election, neighbor.
All right, great. So you think that's marginal?
It is. It would still be marginal, irrespective of what the circumstances is. Some constituency go to an election being marginal, but the party with the momentum tend to also just ride on that momentum. As I said before, when you look at what the margin of victory for Dwight in 2020 and in prior years for the JLP win Clarendon Northern a 700 lead or so, what you can pick up from that is you roll the PMP, Croftsill numbers and Indian Town numbers.
Sorry, are you reading from any documents, sir?
No, I'm not. I'm actually.
All of this is out of your head?
Yeah, man. You realize your name is not just a name, just for name's sake, you know, man.
You know your stuff, bro. Trust me, bro. You know your stuff, bro. Kudos to you, bro. Trust me.
Oh, yeah. Let's challenge you. Let's challenge you a little bit.
Oh yeah, wait. Neighbor, I'm more asking some because I think in our comment section, I'm asking about Central Setmere. A lot of people.
No.
We're gonna get there, man. But let's cover Clarendon. We won't have him every day, now. Me and Scratchy have to carry on the phone. So we're taking notes here, Scratch.
Yeah.
Is Nestor Morgan going to win back North Central?
Without a doubt. I can put my house up for sale. Yeah, I can put my house up. Yeah, man, he's going to win the seat.
You're betting your house, sir?
Yeah.
How much it value?
Well, I will have to get a valuator, but whatever the price is, I can put up my house. He's going to win. As I said before, when I mentioned worst case scenario, consistently the JLP win 3 seats in Clarendon, North Central, Central, and Southeast. Whenever the PNP get the 2 marginal, they add it to Southwest. If the JLP go out and fight, we win 5-1. The PNP will not win North Central. For them to do that, the JLP will leave Clarendon perhaps only with 1 seat or 2, and that will not happen.
And then Charles Jr. is the safest one there, and Central.
The seat that is to be filled is the safest one, the Central Clarendon. It's the second largest constituency in Jamaica. It has a lot of votes. So don't be surprised on election night if it's the PNP hit 9,000 votes, because the JLP will be able to hit 11,500 a year. So,
that constituency is where the Hayes division is, right?
Yes, it is.
And he's going up against Cian Barneswell.
Cian Barneswell again, yeah.
So right now, Clarendon looks like
5-1.
What?
It looks to me,
One?
at the moment, if I'm to be real, because work needs to be done, it looks 4-2, which is very unusual because the JLP has not done anything more than 3-all or 5-1. Because as I said before, Northern Clarendon always votes with Northwest in lockstep. So it would be very sad to see if we win North, we can't carry Northwest. But I like the person that might be our candidate, I'm not going to rush anything for Northwest Clarendon. If that is done, and they can go back into Frankfield and energize and bring out the party's base along within the Thompson Town division, and also try to get the JLP motivated in riches, then the PNP will be beaten in Northwestern Clarendon. And I know Eddie Nallen will be smiling in his grave.
We have to wrap up at 3:30. Scratch. So Manchester is 3-1. Will it stay 3-1 or go 2-2?
Manchester is really a pain point when I look at it. It is one of the parishes that, being a fair political person and looking at where the trend is going now, we have to be careful with the dynamics. We have to quickly try and settle the matter of constituency leadership, especially Northeastern. When we don't settle Northeast, it becomes a bother because Northeast is a mother constituency for the Labour Party, that it is that seat that everybody else on the JLP side look up to. And we are actually still out there in limbo as to who will be our candidate. I am concerned about the parish, and I think the PNP is not going to lose the parish. Perhaps the best case scenario for the Labour Party is try to tie, but the numbers are suggesting otherwise. Hence the reason why you're seeing it in white, marginal, because the trend is with us, and the fact is we have a big base in central Manchester. So if we retain that, the JLP...
So talks that Northwest is in place is just that talk.
It's just talk. We're not going to win Northwest, man. Let me tell you something. You see, any constituency you see the Jamaica Labour Party fail to win in 2020,
Can't win it in 2025.
Will not. Will not.
So the PNP will hold all of their 14.
All of their 14. All of their 14 they will hold.
And they will pick up as well?
Yeah, man, they will pick up constituencies. They will. But the fact of the matter is the gap in terms of seats now. There's a 35 seat deficit in the parliament that, yeah, man, 14 from 49 left 35. But the Jamaica Labour Party will have enough margin that even when the margin is being eroded, the Labour Party can comfortably sit in the parliament with at least...
The PNP has to pick up 18 seats, right?
They will have to pick up 18 constituencies. 18. And
do you see them picking up that?
No, absolutely not. I don't see it.
So question. So you say we're not gonna win. We're not gonna pick up any of PNP seat. That's what you said.
Yeah, when I look at the 14 seats.
I objected to that. The Central St. Mary, just watch out for that seat. So I'm gonna tell you that tonight. Just watch out for that seat.
I will be watching Central St. Mary, but I might need to go back to 1972. We have not held that seat since 1972. 1980, what I saw in 1980, and that seat did not vote. In 2020, that seat did not vote. It's going to vote. I'll be waiting. This one is...
This. I told neighbor this previously. The problem is a lot of these seats, the problem is a lot of these seats we don't put in proper candidates. And now we have a proper candidate in Central St. Mary. Is the leading promoter in the parish. He was a farmer cop, and he knows a lot of people. So, like I said, all we need before is to have a proper candidate. Now we have the proper candidate. I think we have a great chance. So, like I said, if you see we win this seat, don't be surprised. Like I said, don't be surprised.
All right, I will absolutely be surprised, and that's one of the reasons why I'm probably gonna put up my host to that one here too. But let's move on.
Southern is not looking good, eh?
Which comes what in Manchester?
In Manchester.
Do not listen. It's for anybody who think Rhoda Crawford can win. If Rhoda can win, Chin can win. Chin and Rhoda literally won their seats by 7 percentage points in 2020. And if you're gonna look at what numbers are suggesting, Rhoda would be trailing coming out of the local in February by 1,200 votes. Chin would only be trailing by 570. right? And Chin has 2 councillors out of 4. That's 50% of the councillors. Rhoda has 0 out of 4. So the argument about Rhoda having a chance and Chin doesn't, it's an non-argument. Chin equally will be able to actually be competitive in the constituency because South Manchester, for far too long, we have neglected the seat thinking that only Central has potential. South Manchester equally has its fair share. And I think once we mobilize ourselves properly and try to, increase our numbers in the Alligator Pond area and maintain in Grovetown and also in Porous, then it is likely that the JLP can actually spell or cause some problem for the PNP. And no, Newport is a very big division and strong one for them, that when they rally there, they really rally. But I still believe that if we really use those 2 divisions to our advantage, along with try and make a race of Alligator Pond, then South Manchester is equally in play for the party.
Then Homer Davis in St. James Southern, I understand that's one of them that the party is almost giving up on.
The party would be very stupid, and I'm not defending Homer from a St. James perspective. I am from St. James, and one of the things I can tell you with St. James, the mobilization, it starts in this particular direction. Dr. Chang, Ed Bartlett, Eroy, Malawi, Homer. That's where the strength of the seat lines up. And once Dr. Chang is strong and super strong, and Ed Bartlett is strong, and Eroy is strong, literally it makes it much easier for Malawi and Homer to come through. Let me just quickly go and just share something with you guys. In 2024, Homer Davis trailed the PNP by 471 votes based on the sum of the votes we got from the local versus what they got from the local. So the PNP would have been up by 471 votes. The JLP lost one of the divisions by 38 votes. They lost another one by about 82. And those 2 are a little over 100 and change. The PNP was able now to run up the numbers in Catadupa, and the JLP won in Cambridge by 41. So it's not the division per se that is the JLP problem. When Homer Davis was councillor for the Cambridge division in Southern St. James, Homer Davis consistently won that division by 500 or 600 votes. So the margin the PNP is ahead by, it is because of our failure to have won Cambridge by a city block as well. If the JLP go back in the Cambridge division, because the election will not be won or lost from anywhere else but Cambridge. Our failure was that our new councillor, Javin Baker, did not maintain the 600 lead for the JLP in Cambridge. Because if he had done that, the PNP lead of 400 now would be them trailing by 200 and odd votes, considering that seat voted PNP for 31 years as well. So I can confidently say that when I look at Homer Davis' general election numbers, when he won by 1,000 and change, that was real because his local elections and prior to that showed consistent over 500 lead in that constituency. And to go further, there's something about South St. James that I think it has a very competitive base in terms of the undecided voters or the ones that are not loyal. Because nobody knows that Homer Davis has the highest number of votes polled in that seat, even more than the number of years that Kelly won that seat, Kelly is second in terms of votes polled. 2020, when everybody was losing votes across the country, Homer was gaining. So the problem is, he just need to go back to those marginal people and say what's happening, what is happening, talk to them, engage them, and whatever, and try to return some sort of stability in the Cambridge division. The JLP uses that division, it alone can win the constituency as well.
What about Marlene?
Is Marlene going to be losing this time to Horn?
I doubt that. I don't see Marlene losing to Horton because in West Central St. James, my neighboring constituency, the PNP have a history, and it's a long-standing history. We have not held the Mount Salem division for 49 years, and we have not in terms of the parish council election. But in the last 2 general elections, Malahu lost Mount Salem once by 54, and the other year she won it by 132 votes. Mount Salem division has a history of voting consistently for PNP councillors. They also have a history of voting in big numbers, even when you go to general election. At times, they no longer have that base. When the PNP failed to win Mount Salem division by 600, they start to cry because they know the beating is going to come in Spring Gardens for them. Yes.
And Granville, they're not doing too bad in Granville either.
Well, the PNP in a local election, they will absolutely decimate the JLP in Granville division locally. But if you listen to the numbers and you understand the dynamics of the seat, you wouldn't be concerned too much about Marlene. In the last 2 general elections in the Granville division, it went Labour. And every local goes to the PNP with big margins because Granville is looking at the bigger picture. It's Prime Minister Holness, it's the Labour Party. You go to a parish council election, is Michael Chobe, who have an office, who can sit down and sign on paper for me as a JP in the street, and yeah, a man come and go, in stamp 2 paper and come about in business, and then feel like, say, yo, he's a councillor on the road in the street for us, so therefore, we're going to just be voting for Michael Chobe. But really and truly, the PNP, I'm just going to finish up here. The PNP, if you look at 2016 election, when and compare that to the local elections, the PNP has consistently find about 1,600, 1,800 votes in the Granville division, whether general or local. The JLP only able to find 850, 920 votes in a local election, but in 2016, Marlene Malahoo Fort find 2,094 JLP supporters in Granville, and the JLP won Granville. So when the PNP is looking
did she find it though, or it was the help of the former leader?
The Labourites are there in Granville division. They're just gonna vote Michael Chope at time because, as I said before, we don't establish ourselves with a councillor that or a candidate that is gonna be there for the people day in day out, sitting there and just he make himself available. Yo, brother, me have a document to sign, or whatever. Yo, check Chope, him did it. Yeah, and that sometimes the people feel comforted that they can turn somewhere and get some sort of assistance and go.
Oh, then I'm so curious. I have one question.
Go ahead,
so you said this is from the top of your head, and that's fine. But what is the data set that you work with when you're doing this? I'm curious.
What is it?
The data set that you're working with, like your database, your frame of reference. Where is the source?
All right, so I am actually a constituency secretary. I work for Mr. Bartlett, so I attend all the electoral meetings in the parish on a monthly basis.
No, I understand, but the electoral numbers for each division, where's the database? I'm just curious.
Oh, they're coming from the website of the Electoral Office of Jamaica,
Okay, the EOJ. That's all I wanted to confirm. That's all.
Yeah, man, I track back all the elections of recent times, and sometimes what I do a summary of it and do the average to see the base.
Do you work for Party Central?
No, I don't. I just work directly with one of the members of parliament here in Montego Bay.
Excellent. Take us to St. Mary, because we have to wrap up soon. Montague is safe?
Montague was trailing by 291 from the local. If you look at the recent polls, the JLP is up 13 points. The poll going into the local election, the JLP was actually trailing badly in St. Mary. The mere fact that the JLP is now up 13 points simply suggests only one thing that can make that happen. Montague retaken the lead, and the Labourites are beginning to start to feel excited and happy again. Because the reason why I can say that definitively is that the PNP was able to win the municipal corporation of St. Mary by one seat. And when you look at that, the Jamaica Labour Party decimated the PNP in Southeast St. Mary. It is even a more marginal seat than Western St. Mary. But we literally lost our strength in the division. And we lost Clarendon, and we lost what call it? Bascobel and Arakabessa.
Andrew, you have to take down Andrew. Yeah, go ahead.
So, the JLP would be ahead now in Montague seat. I'm not concerned too much about Montague. I was initially, but the mere fact that the poll is now suggesting that, and I see evidence of work, political work, not government work now, because what was happening to the Labour Party in some seats, it was not the performance of the government, it was just the party that was falling down in terms of its engagement, in terms of its workers' meeting, its workers' appreciation dinner. We had a massive one in East Central. It's a connection, it's keeping the base in touch with the people. I think Montague has begun to start to do that again, and the Labourites are happy.
Great. And then Don is going to hold his own, or
He's
he's
gonna hold
done?
he's holding on. He's holding on. And if you were to really be a person that really just see the numbers for what they say from the local election, Don would be more comfortable ahead than even Bobby. I am so proud of Don, because for a marginal seat like that, then when you go to a general election, it goes one way or the other for either party by about a 32 votes or 40. Don was up in the local by 574 votes, just shy of 600, and even closed the gap in Belfield. He won Anata Bay, he won Castleton, and he won the Richmond division for the Labour Party.
Yeah, some of the listeners are suggesting that Don is going to be done in 2025. That's not what you're saying.
Yes, I think he will be done in terms of argument done.
Argument.
Yes.
That's the only done, eh?
That's the only done.
Okay. Final question from me. I see from the same polls that you have used so eloquently that the party is like 42% of Jamaicans say that the country is going in the wrong direction. How do you interpret that?
All right. So when you get a question like that, you're basically looking at people being polled from JLP base, PNP base, and a huge chunk of persons who are undecided. The JLPs always are the government, not matter of JLP, it can be PNP as well. Any government, they're going to be up against the opposing base, and they're going to be up against the no view base, those persons who do not intend to vote, etc. So I am not surprised by those numbers per se, and you tend to find that, and even within your base too, you find that persons are going to say that the country is heading in the wrong direction. But when you flip the question now, but if you were to vote though, how would you vote? Those said persons sometimes still say GLP, because guess what? It's psychology. The persons who will answer a question to that in the poll is simply because, guess what I say again? Them have 4 dumplings on them plate and them want 5.
4 dumplings. You love dumplings, huh?
Yeah, man. Me eat too.
Yeah. You sound like a relatively young man. I think you said you were born in 1992.
That's correct.
What it is that has allowed you to be such a prolific supporter of the Jamaica Labour Party? What is the ideology? What is the philosophy? What brought you into the party, and why are you such a strong supporter?
All right, so I was born in 92. So in the year 2002, I was standing in my community, and a motorcade was actually passing through, and Edward Siaga was there, and I first shaked his hand right underneath the green mango tree there, so, and it was a surreal moment, and I felt connected somewhat.
You didn't wash your hands, eh?
No, I didn't, and I must say this is not coming from any party in terms of, it is not coming from a place of die-heartedness, because both my parents are supporters of the opposition party, and my father lives in Northeast Manchester. He votes against Ardlisha in every single election, right? So I am not coming off table of mother and father Labour Party. The family, however, is strong JLP. Everybody else within the family, them people who say, yo, Jamaica, love Brazil, but some people say, what, too much I don't love Brazil, man, I love somebody else. I think my mom is one such person. And I also believe, if I'm to speak truth, the PNP was in power. It was really this that caused me to support the JLP in such strength. The PNP was in power 3 years prior to my mom giving birth to me. I was born in 92. The PNP won election in 89, and they served 18 and a half years in government and in several constituencies across the country, as much as 31 years. And I look at that, and I saw when Bruce Golding took over the reins of government with the no user fee policy, my grandmother actually took sick, and she's alive now at 84 years old from 2009. She was diagnosed with stage 2 colon cancer, and we couldn't foot that bill back then. Thank God for Bruce Golding and the Labour Party and the no user fee policy that the PNP always try to put back in all the time. I think these things actually made me become much more grounded in the philosophy, the belief of the party, what it stands for. And the ideology about PNP cares for the poor, I reject that. They only want to keep the poor poor so that they can control the poor. But I believe, as an independent person, think for myself, and the Labour Party actually has a better vehicle to take Jamaica forward. So I will never, ever, ever, ever deflect from that. And I think I'll support the party from now. Even though I was born from a PNP mother and a PNP father, I would say, despite all of that, I tell people every day, it's from the home to the tomb.
And what is it you think that the party needs to do in the third term that is going to even solidify their position
All right.
greater? Because Jamaica is not yet fixed. We still have problems, eh?
All right. You want to hear that quick answer? The JLP gets a third term, the JLP winning the fourth term. And let me tell you, if they get a third term, which I confident they will, they're going to win the fourth term. And let me tell you why. Bobby Montague would have said it, and I didn't need Bobby to say it. The third term will be the people's term. It will be Jamaica's term. And particularly why we're saying that and why we believe that is simply because the Jamaica Labour Party had used the first term to build back the economy. We have used the second term to implement policies and also to begin to start develop this country, the length and breadth of Jamaica. So many projects out there happening at once. The projects are yet to be completed, but so much is in store. JLP gets a third term, all those projects will be completed under the third term, and the people will not look at.
Do you believe in democracy, sir?
I definitely believe in democracy.
So why are you suggesting that we only have one government?
And I'm not suggesting that we only have one government. I'm suggesting that we have the government that cares, irrespective of having repeated them time and time again. Do not just change from one political party only for color's sake. Ensure that the political party, even if you have to repeat them and return them to government, once it is that we are seeing growth, whether economic growth, some sort of growth in the country, and we are seeing that in the JLP, we are seeing the movements, the debt to GDP is going to be fall below 70% at the end of March, before the start of the new fiscal year. That's awesome. We're going to be paying less on debt repayment this year, as to why the budget will be significantly smaller in terms of the aspect that we normally pay on debt. Persons are questioning the budget, but not to worry. It's just that based on where we are, we can pay less on debt repayment and still be in a good position fiscally.
So Hope Road, according to Carencia, will become a museum. You think that's true? Is a prophetic word?
It is beginning to actually look like a museum already. I mean, the only thing that is waiting on the PNP is just for the delivery, so that persons can go and utilize the museum in short order.
Yeah. But then, Odian, they have made some progress because you are expected to lose seats.
No, and it is normal because, as I said before, I don't just speak by just speaking or for speaking's sake. The fact is, 2020 was an anomaly. Election where you win seats that if your numbers were not good enough to win in normal time, it simply means that I would factor these situations back in the equation. So that is why I say, while I expect to win the election, losing a couple of seats. All right, you remember the election of 2002?
Yes.
The JLP gained as much as about 16 seats across the country and lost the election to the PNP. That's exactly what's going to happen again. The PNP have a mountain to climb. It's going to take a Herculean effort for them to get back this country in the third term. They will not. They can dream, they can go to their bed. They will not.
I think, my brother, I don't know if anybody else want to add, but I think the real problem with the PNP is this perception that time come. I really think it's a bad slogan, you know, and I will explain to my listeners maybe tomorrow why I think the PNP lost the election when they came up with that nonsensical slogan. Because when you speak to Jamaicans are in no mood for a change at this time. And so I think a better strategy would be to acknowledge the progress that the country has made and to say how it is that you could have made it better. Don't you think so, sir?
Yeah, man, definitely. The PNP time come is just really empty. It's just empty. It has nothing in it. There's no substance. It's just.
But it does not connect with the reality of Jamaicans. Jamaicans have seen progress.
It does not. And well-thinking Jamaicans who, because I believe the purpose of an education is for you or for any individual to think for his or herself. It's not to be manipulated or to be forced into an ideology. And I think Jamaica is becoming more and more aware of the realities because of social media now. Yes. There are times when I would not be able to speak freely like this. So no, because people are now being aware.
And you are speaking to over 3,000 people now, you know, sir. You know that?
Exactly. So there you go. So that is one of the things that I can say, that the people are now recognizing that the PNP has no plan. They are just opposing for just being the opposition's sake only. And
before you come on, Philippians, has the PNP not? You think that it has been left behind in terms of where the Jamaican people have gone? The PNP is still kind of in the past, because I can't understand how they came up with this time come thing. You couldn't look at Jamaica and be asking for a change. You really, as an opposition, would have to be sleeping to be suggesting that Jamaicans should vote for a change, when it is clear for even Floyd Morris to see that that there has been progress in the country.
The macroeconomics is fine, right? Basically admitting to where we are now as a country. Mark Golding himself see it. So we're not supposed to even, if Mark Golding see the entire Jamaica.
Yeah. You know, I heard.
He also told us that the debt is coming down.
I heard the opposition spokesman on finance saying that should the PNP win, they would continue with the economic stability that the government has. You know?
Right. They would continue, because that is basically admission again. And why not? Because if they really want to put themselves to the people of Jamaica that they do care, they couldn't want to deflect from that. And if they are saying that though, shouldn't the people of Jamaica then question why is it that the PNP get up about every day in a parliament? Them send one particular person every day she go parliament is like she go just to go one in an argument before she focus on what is needed in the country. Oh, every day the people of Southwest St. Andrew send me here. People of every constituency send them the member of parliament, so we know that already. What else you have to say?
Scratchy?
Yes, Odion, I think with the 6% point, Odion, that the party is enjoying, what would you say contributed? What would you say from your point contribute to that 6% without a major campaign in place?
All right. It is simple what the PNP is talking about. Time come. It's time come for the Labour Party to actually mobilize and start to show our strength. And that's exactly what we're doing. So when them talk about time coming up, them not realize, it's time come for them to stay where they are, and time come for us to move further up into government. So I guess people recognize that the elections are drawing closer, and the Labour right them who have one feeling with them cousin and them brother and them neighbor down the road in a PD 61. I go recognize that the election is right there. Right now, bro, got my thing there.
And do you expect that 6% point to leak to
1 minute, because I'm coming down. Odion, you're in the group with Mr. Speaker?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to contact you over there later.
Yeah, man, not a problem.
That is all.
Yeah, I was saying, do you expect that 6% point lead to continue with when the launch of a campaign for the Jamaica Labour Party?
I expect we to maintain and even try and pick up even more steam to hold the numbers where it is, or even extend. But we actually stretching our lead is dependent on one thing, and the Labour Party has to understand that we cannot, as a party, score any own goals going forward. We have already recovered somewhat in terms of having that 6-point lead now, which is significant. But if we intend to stretch the lead, it is we that will have to show the people of Jamaica that we're serious about winning this third term, and we actually now scoring one goal. That is it.
Will you have a meeting later on at UTEC? Odion?
Repeat that for me.
Will you be at the meeting for later at UTEC?
No, I will not be, because I have school. The work I have.
Okay.
So again, Odian, Jamaicans are anticipating the budget. How much of an impact do you think the budget will have on voters' decision going into this election?
Well, I think the people are going to be once again happy that there will be no new taxes coming up in this budget. I think the people will also see some sort of continuous, because let me say it now, every time people will come and say, oh yeah, it's your election time, but Andrew Holness and the Labour Party government has been doing so much for Jamaica over the last 9 years. And when we get to February 25, which is 2 days before my birthday, and the election of 2016, let me tell you, the JLP has done enough in terms of government. It is now for us to tie the politics with the government, get out those persons to vote, because people are aware the 6% has not just come back on just like that. No. People say, I just more me did want the JLP to do for me, but the JLP has done far more than the PNP will ever do. So that's why sometimes it's not because there is no meat, it is a type of meat that some people want within the JLP. And I am telling you, the people of Jamaica will not be phased by the PNP. They will go out there and they will support Andrew Holness, and I expect the JLP to win the next election.
Definitely. Again, just Odin, final question, Odin. In the local election, we saw where the Prime Minister literally was carrying the local government campaign on his back. How much of a weight do you think the Prime Minister will be carrying on his shoulder going into this general election?
The Prime Minister will still be carrying some weight, because if you notice the sizable gap of the two political leaders, there's a 14 percentage point gap between Holness and Golding. There's also, when you map that onto the national swing of 2020, the Labour Party won the election of that year by 14 percentage points. So Andrew Holness has that margin over his political opponent. However, the JLP has less than half of that over the political party that they are actually opposing. So Andrew will be able to use his popularity in some constituencies that are more marginal to ensure that those ones that are so marginal, they pick up some steam. So I will encourage a tour. And marginal doesn't mean that because we have the seat now, it can't be marginal. Because some Labourites are getting something wrong, is that when you see 2020, them seats are safe. No, there are some 2020 seats that are still marginal seats for what they are. So we'll have to go back, campaign in Northern Clarendon, ensure Dwight comes home, go to your St. Andrew Eastern, which I love what happened yesterday. So you keep your meetings and your energy all over. Not because we have the seats doesn't mean that it is a safe seat for the party.
So tell me, Odian, about the plantocracy. This notion that we must bring that into the political discussion. Do you think it's a good strategy?
All right, I was a little bit distracted just now. Sorry about that by a constituent. Could you repeat the question?
The view that we are the plantocracy, that the classism that has entered the political arena in recent times, where there's a suggestion that the opposition is primarily made up of the upper class, and they have used racism in the past against the Labour Party, and that the time probably has come for us to return the favor. Is that something that you subscribe to?
Not necessarily. I will say for those persons who feel that way, they may be able to act that way, and if they act that way, then I have nothing to say, because the PNP used that sort of politics over the years, and they use it and demonize Edward Seaga, a great political leader, and now they talk about My Father Banya. I don't think that song is relevant to them now at this point of the game.
But
and
you have duplicated it, man. Say my Andrew Holness Banya.
Yeah, man, Andrew, exactly. But I'm just simply suggesting that the PNP song is no more relevant to them or the base, because Marky British, and if you recognize him, actually, I try to remind
is British surname
of their
British surname.
Marky British, man.
Most definitely, I agree with that.
I am not on mainstream,
Go ahead.
Yeah, man. So he has no moral right to talk to Prime Minister Holness. The PNP basically has recognized that the same song that they used to try and demonize us is now coming back to haunt them. And we are not fazed by the PNP. I think Jamaicans are looking on, and I think all the noise in the market, the people recognize that the PNP was just corrupt and more corrupt and will just want to win. So all the PNP wants to get back into power to do really. It's just simple to milk the public purse.
Odion, boy, it was nice having you, eh?
Definitely, you know, once I'm free, I'm always available. But just
Yeah, well, listen, what I'm gonna ask, you follow my page?
Well, it's the first I'm actually seeing your page now today, to be honest. So
Really?
Yeah, man, can begin to follow.
Yeah. No, listen to me. This show, you see, amassed 43,000 viewers last week. That's more than any talk show in Jamaica. I can tell you that.
Right. Yeah, man, it's a lot. But I want to thank you so much for having me, though. It's a pleasure.
Yes, and I want to get your information so that I can call you, because we do political forecasting here, and we want to. But so when is the election?
Well, I am not in the position to say. There's one man in Jamaica that calls the election, and it's Prime Minister Holness, and he will not do so until everything is right, until the party chairman and general secretary say that the energy and the atmosphere is ready. So the Prime Minister at that point in time will use his judgment to call the election. I will not give any.
But in terms of your preference, would you go early?
No, my preference is Andrew Holness' preference.
But I must tell you this. You see, that you have one of the best tourism minister Jamaica has ever seen. There's no question about that. Ed Bartlett is in a class by himself, not true?
There's absolutely no doubt, and I'm not speaking.
I think it is agreed on both sides that he is just.
It is. He's just out of this world when it comes down to tourism. And
Yes.
one of the things that we in the constituency have to ensure is that when we have such a good tourism minister that will contribute significantly to the government, to the economy, to ensure that Jamaica is in a position where we are able to get tourism or foreign exchange, we have to ensure that in our support for him is not just about what he is doing nationally, but we have to ensure that because of the fact that the tourism minister, people don't know that, travels sometimes more often than even the foreign affairs minister, we have to be that wind beneath his wings. So we ensure that we tie up the loose ends here for him in East Central, and we are always going to be doing our political work, our engagements on the ground, and the people. Listen, Ed Bartlett can just simply say, oh, they hit the road, and that is it. Once that is it, that is it. So East Central is strong, Labour Party is strong, St. James strong, and we have one job in St. James, and it's to return all 5 constituencies to Andrew Holness and the Labour Party.
Oh, why did you do so badly in the local polls, though, son?
In the local polls in St. James or in the
Across the island?
All right, so across the island, what you saw happen in February was just frustration, was just the fact that our councillors, they're there for about 7 years plus, yeah, approximately 8 years. It's like they're serving 2 terms in one without having an election. The people became restless, and as you know, the challenges that we face, bad weathers, heavy rains, so many things over the past couple of years. And then people actually went out there, not voting as if they're voting against the candidates for 1 term. They said, no, John Brown, still can't tell me that because of 8 years there. It kind of affected some of our candidates because they didn't have much of an argument really to give the people in. And it's not just us, even PNP councillors who were there too. So that's why we won, 113 divisions and they won 115 on the night. We had a close election because of that. Neither party really could defend their stewardship as much as I know Andrew Holness, MPs and government will be able to defend our stewardship because the work that was done and the organization and all of that. And sometimes, as you see, when you're in government, for a time. You're doing, the people sometimes become so used to your doing that when you continue to just maintain a balance, it starts to become problematic because for years you give audience a
So
dollar.
time is going, and I want to ask you this. There are some who would argue that there is great income inequality in Jamaica, that the prosperity of which you speak has not trickled down sufficiently to the marginalized, and that there is still much work to do to equalize, Jamaica, that there is social inequity in the society. How would you respond to that?
All right, so I can, even though I'm not a financial analyst or of the sort, but I can tell you that I heard the complaints about inequality and that we need to show more equity and all of that. But even when you look at the compensation restructuring that was done in 2022, the adjustments and the new memorandum of understanding, heads of agreement for the 3 years, which is expiring on March 31 of this year, we saw the creation of 16 pay bands coming down from 320 pay scale that had 320 and 13 levels and 8 levels at that time, which would have been about 2,600 or so in terms of the pay scale. Now we're down to pay scale of 16 bands with 13 levels within. So when you look at what happened, the persons at the very bottom of the pay scale, mean band 1 through to band 4, the lower tier, they benefit tremendously from the compensation adjustments. Those who fall from band 11 through to 15, right? Those persons actually also benefit significantly. The middle class now, which is band 6 through to 10, that's where we hear the largest complaint coming from, and partially so because that is the block of voters that represents what we call the person say it's the working poor, or they say it is the middle class, because the middle class is our largest block. And because they have the largest block, having given a salary increase right across the board, with the same percentage fixated across for everybody, it would take a lot more fiscal room to do so. Persons would say it quickly, why the Prime Minister's salary is 25 million. And one person in my community was, but he could have never stay 9 million. So I said, all right, he's now taking the 9 million. So the difference between that now is 15 million. Do you give that now to the teachers, for example, that we love dearly? And we have about 25,000 teachers in the country. Divide 15 million by that, it's about $640 more per year per teacher. So when we can afford to pay one prime minister a certain increment, it is
but my brother, that is very concerned that the opposition leader's salary is $25 million. $25 million.
Yes.
But then the minimum wage in Jamaica is $15,000.
Right.
The social inequity in the society is widened by
Yes.
the very policy. It has widened that gap.
Neighbor, can I join the conversation?
Yes, but before I go, let me just hasten to say this though. You look at the fact where the PNP left the minimum wage at about 6,200. It is the Labour Party who consistently increased the minimum wage for us. Even at one point in time, we jumped from $9,000 to $13,000. That was $4,000 one time. And for years, the PNP had the minimum wage at $6,000. The JLP.
You are a statistician. I don't want to take you too much into the economics. I want protecting Jamaica to help me. Odian?
Yes, I'm listening.
I mean, my only contribution.
Let's
only contribution while Odian is here, as he was responding to you. You see, there's a whole, as he said that he's not an economist, because there's a whole lot of different factors that we have to use to qualify wages, All right, I have to pay workers. But what am I paying workers for? The people who earn minimum wage, who are they? How qualified are they? And that is what we need to discuss. Because if you're not qualified, you can't come in my business where all you can able to do is sweep the floor. But I must pay you more than the CEO or equally to the CEO. And that is the kind of discussion we need to have in the country so that people can understand. Upskill yourself. Once
Exactly.
I remember a few months ago, with Cinco was battling with Mossy Pepsi because they only had a handful of people who could operate an advanced technological machine that makes soda in Jamaica. And what happened? With Cinco raised the wage to how much $1 million? And then the chief mixer, the chief operator where they have a Pepsi, leave and go with Cinco. Then Pepsi raise back for them and the guy leave, go back at Pepsi. And this is the kind of discussion we need to have. We can't have people in our society who just want to sit around and do nothing. No matter the amount of programs in Jamaica that are free for people to skill themselves. They will never go do a 6 weeks training or a 3 months training or 6 months.
You ever see a government they pay people
And,
because
okay,
school,
we have a government
program,
now.
look at the care program,
Okay.
look at the other program through hard.
Right.
Even when you complete a skill up to level 4, you can get a grant to go and purchase your machine and other equipments in order to actually get to the level of
Okay.
self-employment where you can now take care of yourself
it.
and your family.
So the argument should be who earns the minimum wage. As a matter of fact, let me tell you something. I don't know no boss where I pay the minimum wage. I pay more than the minimum wage. And I know other people were out there paying more than 15,000 before 15,000 was introduced. I know people paying more than 20,000 per week and you know reach 20,000 yet.
And what the minimum wage basically reflects is just simple what you should not be paid below. It doesn't
Below.
mean that bosses
That's
are
it.
really paying that. Just a simple reflection. And
That's all it is, you know.
I can also say that we have to be careful how we push the argument about minimum wage. While I want it to basically be able to benefit the people, so they have not just a minimum wage, but as the opposition would want to call it, a livable wage. Yes, we aspire to do that. And Andrew Hollis will tell you, any idea there ever or anything that will benefit the people of Jamaica is not afraid of implementing something that somebody can only think about and don't even know the first step to implementation. And I can tell you again that this government is also fiscally responsible in such a way that they have to be careful, they have to be strategic in their action, so that whatever action is taken will be to the best interest of the people of Jamaica. Because if you're to double the minimum wage now and you have 4 staff that work for you, all they simply do, I give next 2 more work and send in that to them, you can't pay it.
Exactly.
You have to think about these things too.
Exactly, audience.
You see what the people on here listening to us have to understand.
That is in a society where its education is more advanced, though, you know, because this argument, the questions I'm asking, you know, are questions that Jamaicans ask. I'm not asking these questions because I want to provide you with information.
And that is the reason why the opposition need to elevate the conversation. Because guess what? Just like what Mark Golding did. Oh, pay the people, move the threshold to $3 million. And everybody asks, okay, how are you going to pay for it and how are you going to do it? By the time them reach a parliament in the budget debate last year, them don't even mention in them budget debate because guess what? They just have the luxury of speaking to rile up people and to get people say, yes, I saw if you go for true.
You know why?
But the people
Because the reason for that is for far too long, we are cultured to hate the government, irrespective of which political party is in government. So people out there have no reason, no care to really care about what the opposition is depending on is people see them as just opposing and want to get back in power. Because really and truly, can I be listening to an opposition just to get rid of the government without the opposition of the day saying it how it is that this particular thing that they want to see implemented in the country will be financed? At what is it that they're going to cut in order for we to get this? Because it's politics, you know, it's economics. If me have $10,000 and $500 for certain item, I mean, if me have $10,000 and $5,000 for one particular item, it simply means me have only $5,000 more to spend.
Okay.
Just like politics, there's 63
And that's why
seats.
conversations like these.
You cannot, in politics, you cannot gain 2 seats and expect that the other side, it's going to have an effect of 4. Because if you lose 2 seats, it's minus 1 plus 3.
The policy of the government, therefore, is to provide educational opportunities for the citizens where they can get themselves upskilled, trained, retrained, so that they can benefit from a higher wage.
Right.
And the government
They
is
will be
doing
more
that now.
qualified, and they will be more qualified, and also what they'll be earning will be reflective or representative of their qualification, and
Right.
that might
So
also
we have to move the discussion away then from the whole politicizing of the minimum wage debate. 'Cause I'm not-
Yes.
And that's the PNP, that's the People's Political Party.
But it's not going to be so easy to move it away. All right. Earlier, when I was in the discussion and I mentioned Singapore, what Lee Kuan Yew did, all he did was to bring the people along, and that's what I blame my government for. Andrew Wallace is trying to do it now. Talk to the people. Lee Kuan Yew every week. He kept a meeting in one of his provinces.
Can I share something personal with you, Protecting?
And talk to the people.
I had a doctor's appointment on Saturday. When I was on the program, I actually had to leave because the doctor gave me an appointment for 4 o'clock in Kingston. And when I got there, I had to wait 3.5 hours to see the doctor. Although I got an appointment for 3 o'clock. These are some of the things that is holding us back, sir. Productivity.
Right. Now, how is that going to be? How that going to change? When that doctor have some sensible competition because the society becomes fairer and more balanced, then he have to go drop him socks, because I'm sure that there are other entities, there are other doctor offices or surgeries out there that they are going to hold to the time that they give. Or even so, because these people tell you to come, and then there's nobody coming out to you to say, all right, I'm sorry, doctor is running behind time, but so on. Nobody's communicating. And that's the very point I was making earlier. Jamaica can cross this bridge, but we have to bring the people along so that the people understand. And if we do not talk to the people
like you Protecting Jamaica, Odeon, Scratchy, Delroy, that is online. You see, in this debate coming up, we will be discussing every single nonsense that comes from anywhere. Because when you make a policy, we want to know how you will fund it. Where the money is going to come from. No, so.
Yes.
So every promise that is made in this election will be coming under the microscope, the social media microscope.
A matter of fact, this coming budget, there's a whole lot of discussion I want to have around this budget, because it is important for us to bring our people along. A lot of people say, oh, because Lee Kuan Yew practice dictatorship, then he cannot be counted among any of those who considered democracy. But guess what? He respected his people enough to tell them that, listen me, next week we'll be doing some development, and this is what we're going to do with the budget. But this is how it is going to affect you. After 2 years, the 18-year-olds, they are going to come along and it's going to be whatever. But in the medium term, in the short to medium term, it is going to cause you a little bit of pressure and a little bit of strain. But it is for your best. It is for your best after it is fully implemented. And the people sit down and listen. And the people appreciate the fact that him come and talk to them. And then what is Singapore today? As I said earlier, the poorest man in Singapore earn $48,000 a year. That's the poorest man in Singapore. We just reached 7,000. Just 7,000 we reach, And the point is, the government need to realize that if we cannot bring our citizens along with the change is not easy, and people will naturally reject changes because people don't understand what is on the other side of this change that you're going to implement. So if you don't communicate with them respectfully and bring them along the journey, then you're going to have problems. And that is the only thing I blame the government for now. So of course, Odeon shares some points that I agree with him 100% as a statistician. But even though 2020 was an anomaly, 2025 is going to be a bigger anomaly. And there's one factor in this great anomaly that we need to consider. For the first time in Jamaica's history, anybody between the age 20 to about 52, they are experiencing a government that actually work on their behalf, in their community, in their little neck of the woods. And that is going to make a difference in this election. And I believe, yes, the JLP is going to win, but I believe that they're going to win more than 36.
Which traditional media in Jamaica could you go to and hear the type of discussion that you are hearing over here? Which of them?
None.
Huh?
None.
None.
Isn't that
None.
part of the problem? That
I mean,
that-
the only balance,
It's perhaps nationwide. The closest.
nationwide is the only balanced media house in Jamaica. But there is a silver lining, neighbor. The people in our society no longer depend on the mainstream media for their information.
That's true.
They no longer depend on that. So that is actually something that we can feel good about, because the whole conglomerate, the RJR group, is sold out to the PMP. And the person who run it named Matalan.
And that
Him in a mark gold in front and back pocket. So we have to understand, say, the reality.
To say, brother, hold on there. You see, if you notice, even when there are some positives to be had or to be talked about, rather than just encouraging the people by using the confidence that the information is suggesting, the PNP operatives and detractors, they tend to want to cloud the people's the reality then from the people. Crime is down 19%. But do we feel safe though? From one DJ Miller. Do we feel? That's not the question. The question is not about if we're safe. Crime is down 19%. Speak on that.
That's the news, eh?
That's the news. So the headline, they deflect to another headline. Come on, man.
Perfect example was they created a headline yesterday in terms of what Desmond McKenzie would have said. That we, like they said, we will not surrender the JP will not surrender the government to PN. And that's not what the man said, you know? That's totally not what the man said, but they took from what this speech that little sentence to say, all right, then that is the headline. As if insinuating that if the, God forbid,
the PNP was to win, that we were not going to want to give up government.
We will say, all right, then we are not going to give up government. It's so misleading. And then when you look at the comment, you see where the Gleaner as well as these media entities play on the emotions as well as the, I don't want to say emotions, but on the, the ignorance of the populace to think that, hey, the government is not doing anything or the government is going against laws and policy. And it just, you know, baffles me as to how people just run with the headlines and not read the articles in their entirety.
The headline should not say civilians dead. The headline should say gangsters, right? So JFJ need to change the word civilians as if to say the government is killing off innocent people. Tell them to come again.
And in series, I was glad that the commissioner came out and spoke about
which is why I feel like the Coke family must land a lawsuit on the Gleaner, because their family was convicted for being a drug kingpin, and the guy is no longer a drug kingpin because he's locked up. And when the Gleaner go put up something like that, no, they know them are do. They did that to create a perception.
Yeah.
Because when him put out cartel and him baga situation, you see how them pretty up theme situation. But get the Gleaner, man. Just get the narrative behind how the Gleaner try portray things. Just try read between them lines. I won't say much, but try interpret the Gleaner try say. When time them put all them headlines out there, I saw them stay.
It is also indirect campaign that the JFJ is actually launching by trying to get more funding for its organization to give, because if it is that a country is doing well and crime is going down, then that warrants a cut in budget for them, or they're not going to easily find sponsorship because they're having a situation crippling that they're dealing with. So they have to make it look grim in order to work when them see America willing to cut USAID. They are now trying to defend themselves in order to make, even if it is to paint a negative image on Jamaica just for increased funding. JFJ will never fool me. I don't know who else goes down and make them fool them, but certainly not me.
And thus the commissioner's statement, they are trying to remain relevant. And the money them
and that is pretty much it. pretty much it.
and
And it's really
protect
relevant. My cousin didn't lie.
And wealthy, I think the gleaner, they are more interested in selling perception than selling facts.
Exactly.
That's what the
More
gleaner
with
is doing.
perception, but well, deception also.
And deception, exactly. Instead of facts.
Because even when they same housing thing where the lady's house wasn't finished and they ran with that story and they didn't one point in time did I see an article from the Gleaner Company Limited on North Street there.
But
They are
wealthy,
seeing a rapid
how much
decline in
persons
their
have
sales
benefit.
and viewership.
scratchy and wealthy.
And as it should be, because we are no longer relying on them, they are no longer considered
Yeah, they are seeing a
reliable
rapid
source of
decline.
information.
I saw them they do the ice reporting, you know, because then they try to sell it to the diaspora to Jamaica, import ice. And my friend, they are foreign.
Exactly, with the eyes,
and
yes, exactly.
the article could have been prepared better to say fire at major ice facility in Jamaica, cause them to resort to the importation of ice. Big old article, Jamaica importing ice. You know what I mean? They might insinuate something so that they're not detailed.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't know who is writing those articles, because I can do a better job, a far greater job, because the article is not right good.
Exactly.
And the editor-in-chief needs to be fired because of she's not editor-in-chief.
The articles are writing good. Them are write the article how them are write it. Comrades are right there.
to say that. I was about
Yeah,
to say
That's
that.
true.
Writing
Comrades
is
writing the
relative. It's about what it is the narrative that you want from it.
Because as one former PMPs would have said, if you want Jamaica to latch onto something, just put an article or put it in an article, they won't read it.
Yeah,
They
and
just run
ensure
with
that
the
they do it,
headline.
and ensure that they put it in the headline too, because they're not reading the body. And because they
And it
recognize
is
that,
sad.
yeah, because they recognize that is how the society is cultured. They put the negative headline in these papers because they know that Jamaica read headline and go, oh no, you said that happened, but you don't read the rest.
Like even today, how
So
they
true.
stated that doctors stage an island-wide sick out. And I was like, they might be doing it easy, you know? You hear
Yes,
me?
yes, neighbor.
We're gonna have to wrap up soon here.
Yes, man, no
I
problem.
heard that
Odian,
Valerie
thanks, Odian. Enough respect, bro,
is
for
here.
the insight, bro. It was
Absolutely
well.
pleasure.
Yeah, man, it was very informative, and trust me, you're doing very well in your You're a good statistician. Don't be a stranger to the program, Odian. We can link up again more regular, because going forward, you know, we have enough more numbers to break down.
All right, not a problem. And I want to thank the entire team here on the platform and those persons listening and watching on TikTok. And I just want to say that I will make myself available in whatever way possible for the party. It's now crunch time. Get my sneakers ready, my joggers and everything. It's out there. It's on the road. It's about giving the JLP the time of the moment. So feel free to reach out. As long as I'm available, I will always be willing to participate in these discussions. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you. Protecting JA or your
Hold on there. Sexy mellow vibes in the comment apparently just found out some facts courtesy of us. So she's of the view where I want to highlight her views publicly since she never commented it publicly. So for those who are able to view, just view it, and you know she's learning along, man. And that's the aim of us here, Sexy. We're here to teach, enlighten, and so forth. That's why we're here, not to spread misinformation or disinformation. You know what I mean?
But before you go, Odian, and we wrap it up. The music is the theme. Philippians. Odian didn't give Delroy the win over in St. Elizabeth at all, you know.
I have not yet called Northeastern St. Elizabeth. We are doing work. We are still working. It's a battleground seat. No, we have put that in. And we should be proud. We should not look at it as a negative.
Exactly what I told neighbor the other day. I told neighbor that if this is a 50-50, it is more favoring us, not them, because of them bedrock for 40 odd years.
Right. So it shouldn't be looked at as, oh, in a marginal, it was solid orange. So for it to even be in the marginal conversation, it's in of itself an achievement for the party.
Yeah, that's what I explained to neighbor.
Yeah, man.
I just want to tell you a big respect in the protecting JM. I love the strength where you push.
Yeah, man. See you, man.
I see it all over protecting
indeed,
Jay.
I'm
Wealthy,
Yes, I'm here.
you have to send some of the wealth over here, man.
Definitely.
Good afternoon, everybody. Okay.
All right, so
Yes,
all right,
man. How much again, neighbor,
I'm gonna
man?
leave now, and then you guys can feel free to reach out to me at a time so I can get to be connected with you all.
That's right. You know, me and work not down in there. You know, we had a late night all in there.
Scratchy a graveyard shift
I
running.
didn't realize.
You know, a graveyard
because
shift
Mr.
running.
Well, man. I said, up in hours and night, and I said, yeah, they might be playing on the way.
Lie will
What
never
kind of
live as long as
event,
me and Scratchy alive.
Me say.
That's right. You know, me and the dead bill night shift.
As long as me are protecting J.A. alive, wealthy, you and Scratchy and the whole team, we're here to dispel lies, man. Rubbish lies.
Banish those thoughts.
5, 6
Not in
o'clock
my
morning in
cabinet.
the neighbor.
6
5,
o'clock.
6 o'clock morning.
6 o'clock or
That's a
there.
mission. We can't manage the late night, but a mission.
A 24-hour running protecting. As you come off one, they go up on the other one. 24-hour running.
24 hour, man.
Good afternoon, everyone.
All right, big up. Well,
All right, homage,
Everybody.
yeah, man.
World, meaning that you should have read something about something. You're out there with the stars, them out there. You mean you run, you see them other guys, they read about them and look back on the things. And as you just said a while ago, there's not too good to be true. Anybody will offer you more than the world offering you internationally is a damn thief. All right? And as we said, Black King said that your first half on the Ponzi scheme, because one of them a Ponzi scheme, you know. The other day, some TikTok currents and some little type of thing. I whoop a Ponzi one out there, you know. And a friend of mine went into one, you know. And when you go in there, tell my friend, through me have an intellectual understanding, me pick it up, say it bad, you know. But you think me just hold on to my feelings, or me pick up in my knowledge, I start to question other people. I question somebody at the bank. And a young man said to me, a young man, you know, I'm a bigger man to him, 20 years more, or 30. And I said to him, what do you think about such and such, the TikTok, blah, blah? Because I will for different type. And he said, let me tell you something. You see what I go on? I will for them out there. Ponzi scheme. You saw them tell me, say, a Ponzi scheme. I said, sir, I don't know about my opinion, but I just want to know. I come home and I sit to a friend of mine who work in the banking system and things like that. Do you know? Yeah, listening?
Ivan, mute Ivan.
Ivan,
Yeah,
hold on. You did that say something,
Okay,
Ivan.
sorry.
You are listening me? You are listening me?
Yes, I'm
Yeah,
listening.
man,
Go
we're
ahead.
here.
Yeah, what I'm saying, the friend of mine buy into it because of our family member abroad. Our family member abroad.
Same team what me support.
Yeah, let him
The
finish
family
first,
member-
Ivan, and then you can
Wait a
comment.
second there. The family member abroad, going to it and him get back at job at this and job at that. I still tell her, say, this thing you not sound right. She say, you when you go up on the Zoom in Africa, I say, Lord, that make it worse. Jesus, no, it done this so. It's coming through China. I said, no, I understand, but let me tell you something. This gonna fall. Do you believe me? She put on people upon it and put too much money and put on, expand it and put on. And do you mean it said fall?
All
the people she put on. She owe them the money because it's about her conscience, but not fear fault. It's risky. She fall apart. So you see, I tell you, so anything we tell you about you, we get this and big turnover. It is going to fall because nothing goes so. I rest my case. Somebody else can talk.
Go ahead, Ivan. What you said, do you know?
Oh, well, you know, remember say for me your team, man. I stress me.
Boy.
All right, what me have to say still? All right, what you know, say one time, this is our personal experience. One time I get to one job, you know. One guy tell me say, oh, you have one decade for your cars. Probably well, about 6 to 7 now. Say, have a decking for your cars.
Pretty girl, Ivan.
Huh? At the time, you know, them the time they about $3,000 to $4,000 a day for work. But the guy come to me and say, oh, a $5,000 in my pay. So one of my brethren look at me and said to me, say, you know, so I don't come for that they pay too much money. I'm facing a problem every night. I say, no man. The man say, oh no man, they too much money. We don't want so much money. Anyway, me go on the work, you know. And politics. Let me tell you how me could have get my money. You ain't go tell me if we could have trust things on one shop.
Yeah.
And I saw me end up getting me 5,000.
Yeah. Oh, my say, when I time, you know, them bit have one. I really know about them because I never follow up them thing there. So somebody introduced me to one. I think you put 200,000 and you get 1.5. And me put it 2,000 in it. Do you know the good thing about it? Me get for me 1.5. You see, as me get this,
Me done.
I'll know one man what must near 10 million.
Yep.
It's right now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, hide. Because him go involve people in it, he take people money. And literally, I'll know people them can't get back
I
their
don't
money.
know if you remember a couple of years ago, there was a couple of banks in Montego Bay.
Miss Jones. Me lose 6,000 and Miss Jones.
There were a couple of banks in Montego Bay that they were, there was a big scandal. So what them used to do, you see when the business people them come and do them night deposit,
Yes.
the manager could go back in or in the bank or go back into the bank and them invite some people in and them go and gamble on the stock market.
My gosh.
Remember?
Yeah.
You remember that one? They go and they gamble upon the stock market. Now, this gamble, it's good if you can make back the money because you can put back the people and money. But whatever profit you make, are yours. The bad part about it is when you lose.
Bigger that.
Lose. I mean, I tell you, it was a big scandal. The same something there bank there were up beside City Center. What name?
CIBC.
Aye. The manager then, I call no name. The manager then. A good friend of mine too. Or a friend of mine. He had to run away. He had to run away. People lose the money. I can't remember the scheme they used to call it. But it's the same thing I think this guy was doing with his money. So what they do, they take your money. They take your money and they go and
the one of them do it and worldwide.
Yes.
Whatever.
Ponzi scheme.
Yes.
A Ponzi scheme name is like a domino effect.
Yeah.
And
but you know what beats them? You know what beats them? I cut just a second. You know what it beats them? It could have worked a little bit, you know, but here what go on. People would just go in there. The people who were going out for a little while. If your money stay and turn over into business, because what Cash Plus they wanted to do was to buy business and invest your money into the business and then pay a dividend from it, which wouldn't be bad. But while him about to do that, him pay out the early person because money they are run, people are getting a little girl them inside the X amount of thousand.
Well, that's what
today. All right, good.
That's what the woman, if you read it.
Hard for it, doing a guy. You know,
Hold on. That little old lady in the paper yesterday, I think it was yesterday, she said because her son warned her about it. And she said, but she was happy because she was getting 2,000 US a month. She was getting 2,000 US a month. And when she said the son warned her, and she went back to talk to them and said she want back her money now. They're telling her her money is okay, her money is safe in Cayman. Until she finds out she can't get back her money. So it only, and worse if you go to the stock market and you lose. Because sometimes the stocks are up, sometimes they're down. And sometimes you lose big. Now if you lose big and you continue losing, what's gonna happen? You can't pay back the money.
So people borrow.
Not only that to say, not only to say you then lose the money, you then take money out there for yourself too.
Right. But what beats the people, because that I'm to Cash Plus to a 12K I'm buy and we put down some money for a hotel, you know. Him put on Hilton Hotel and quite a number of big businesses, over 100 business. So he had a desire. But what really beat him that
something dangerous.
him start to invest hard. Him never have no cash flow because the people might drop back little money with them put in and for them money in there use. And then guess what happened? People were borrowing from the bank. People were people go one bank, one bank go borrow much US dollar mortgage our place, our business and our houses. So when she lose everything with our worldwide cash, not two of them. When she lose it worldwide, them take away our business, she have to sell it. It's only our house she save and run to America. Never come back, but our house she rent out part of it. People lost some things.
You feel so if you draw down on some of them and not give them license?
No, that's not the issue. No, you must need to make them sign an agreement of what type of business they are doing. Because you're not supposed to go on into those type of business. Those businesses are like a little loan agent, but they went into a wider business, and that is what happened.
But listen to this. Listen to this. You can't say don't give them license, because if you can provide the books and show that you're a stable company and this is how you do things, and they matches up. That's the thing, And this is where it's so unfair to poor people, because you as an honest poor man got the bank, right? And you want to borrow some money to buy one little car. And excuse my language, them even want to ask you say how money they fuck with.
Me just say how much sex you had last night. Them almost want to say that.
You understand?
You have to say. Yes, it's true.
Even the granny title down everything. You have to cack on give them. You see the rich man now?
Him don't give nothing.
Go there, him draft up some piece of paper, and him do this and do that, and all of a sudden, then get the money.
Yeah, I want phone call up somebody who recommend him,
exactly.
like a politician.
The thing is, remember, a lot of these guys go to school together, so they know them one another.
Of course.
And they are lawyer, so they know them one another.
They know them one another.
They know who in a bank we can call and say, oh, me want a loan. All in tell them, can your documents and copy it and next day money in your account.
Do you know?
While the regular person have to go through one right around the world and come back.
Do you know that when we young in our business world, do you know that that me get through with loans, me get through with favors, me get through with credit card where the bank manager said to me, the credit officer said to me that I must bring some documents, call me a business account, bring some documents to prove business. And he said 2 weeks time when fly go America and come back down, 3 credit cards me get, 2 from one from my daughter and 1 from my son and 1 for myself, We don't know documents, May I tell you? Me get
the moment you want a business account.
Yeah, man. They teach, I know one the credit officer teach me. Some of them teach me, them say, always lodge and drawback. It doesn't matter. Even for your bill money, if you go pay your bill, lodge it back in the bank, because this is proof of income. Once the money is circulated in Jamaica, in America, they don't recognize that. You just have to have good bad credit or bad credit. If you have bad credit, you get through. If you have no credit in America, when I didn't have no credit in America because I didn't want to credit nothing, I was like a ghost. You're a ghost in America until you have a credit, whether it be bad or good. All over the world, you have to they recognize you when you have something good or bad. No in between. America is like heaven and hell. I'm telling you, the world, Canada, but you can't tell you that.
I learned that.
All over the world, it's heaven and hell. You can reach today, and you can die a papa tomorrow.
So what I say a while ago?
Yeah.
A 3 year now, I learned that. Say if I have a $10, put it in a bank and take out the back.
Yeah, they teach me that.
About 3 years ago, I learned that. So it always show say. So for the year you have $10, but it show like I'm $1 million.
Million, right? So they say him say can put it in immediately and walk out to the bank and go to the ATM machine and draw it back. It doesn't matter. So right. Yeah. So
like when I had
when I had my statement I show say boy I'm allowed 100,000 for the month. And I might draw sometimes overdraft. Yeah, sometimes I gone over a little. But then if you write a check, they will call you because I was so recognized. They will call me in America and our email and say, Mr. Roden, you're overdraft. I said, all right, I'm on my way down. I will send down some check. I will send down some money order. And I sent 4 money order and said that. I'm going to send one money, pick up tip off the credit officer and say, in the care of. And then go when they open the check to bird case and say, no, I can't do that.
Where you going to do it?
Me never hear that one there too.
The credit officer, me send a check for him too. Me send a money for him.
Can't do that. Can't say that. Can't do that.
Yeah, me never know say bribery. No, because I even want to take care of
You
the
never
family.
know, sir.
No, but he's got, I never know them.
No, in the bank,
In the
bank,
bank, then go look for it. In
they
the
have
bank, then go look
a
for it.
limit. They have a limit
Yeah.
of how much you can accept as gift in the banks. And
Oh,
you
okay.
also, when you get that gift, you also have to tell the manager.
Yeah, but you what going on now? You said, me
I
send it
think
to, me send it to the credit officer to for himself personally. It will be okay, but I'm gonna send
No,
the
no,
say the
no.
Kira.
No, can't do that.
We never know, darling.
Yes,
We never know the
that's
You have to
that's
write
bribery.
you have to write the bank a note stating
Okay.
yeah, and then
Okay. Right.
no, even if you write a note, they have a limit.
how much you can get. Yeah.
If you work in the bank, you have a limit of how much you can. They will allow you to accept as a gift.
Okay.
And when you get that gift, you have, as the staff, you have to disclose of it to your manager.
Okay.
Yes. Yep.
That's why most of these people they take the gifts in like
No.
they don't take
Doesn't
cash.
matter. Doesn't matter
Okay.
what kind of gift. Whether
Okay,
gift card,
okay.
whether this, whether vacation, it's still
No,
a
that-
gift.
Okay.
So you have to disclose of whatever
not
you get.
not like vocation.
Yes, of course. A vacation is a monetary value to the vacation.
You can validate. You put a
No, I'm
monetary
not
to
talking
everything.
vocation. I'm not talking vocation.
What?
I'm not talking vocation.
What do you mean?
All right. For instance, I can give you something without it goes through your account or any.
That's what I'm saying to you, my dear.
So if I give you a birthday gift, I can give you a birthday gift without no one recognizing and no checks.
You have to
knowing
meet
that
them somewhere
it's
and
But
but you
that's
can't
illegal. No, but that's illegal. That's what I'm telling you. Anything.
Yeah, it's illegal. It's
But that's what
illegal if they it's illegal. I'm not saying it's not, I'm saying it's illegal, but I can give you a gift without
them know.
They
They
know.
understand what is illegal.
Yeah, anybody can do anything without them knowing it. You can't give one man one
Exactly.
envelope without knowing. But it's
May I
wrong.
try if you understand we live on a choice.
all right. For instance, you want to give person something.
Yeah.
You give him as a birthday
You
gift.
meet him at one place. Like
You
later we'll
purchase a gift. So then literally take the cash, because the cash is more. It's harder to get away with the cash. It's easier to get away with the gift because the gift is not as significant as the cash.
But some do it with care and all them things. They know.
But Levan,
Then buy car.
but Levan,
Hold
that's
on,
what I'm
You
Mike.
said I'm
You
not
don't
wrong.
buy
You know.
such
Don't
an expensive.
stop, bro.
You don't buy
Don't
such an
stop.
expensive gift.
Bribery.
For instance, you say,
Bruh, are you buy car? What kind of fool?
no man,
No,
listen,
what
listen.
I'm saying, listen, let me tell you what, man. You see, people may know of that. Man send down car, or car dealer, we have him
Big up
license,
quality.
and when him send down the car, if I extra money, I'll get a deal, blah, 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 somehow get away under certain things, and bypass certain things, and give him a car. 2 car out of the lot of car him I bring down. A big thing I go on for years. Me know that.
All right.
Yeah, man get car as gift. Feel let my things through. Yeah.
For instance, in birthday I come and you're my friend. You buy him like a washing machine or a fridge.
And what would I say?
You understand?
You mess up there,
Yeah,
So
man.
let me tell you this then.
And I ask me,
Hold
no,
on.
it's illegal, Me understand where they say my side.
Don't talk about it then.
But please let me understand. You have to know say illegal. We know
Because
say
why,
illegal,
number one, if you and the person is friends in the bank, they shouldn't be handling your account. If you and the person,
that's true.
if
That's
you and the
that's
person
true.
are friends,
That's how they get robbed.
if you and the person are friends in the bank, it become a conflict of interest. You shouldn't. They
Yeah,
shouldn't
that's how they get robbed, That's how I'm gonna tell you, give you a thing in a parable. I can't speak, but I know of a person. I met him working a bank as a business manager, big corporate business manager. I met him that one of the work I was leaving, whatever, and I went to Beverly Hills with my friend who worked at the bank. And we went to whatever send off and thing. And we go all up New Kingston and all of that at different places and have fun together, all of us. And my nephew and him was even friend. And he came to my house or something here in Jamaica. But let me tell you something. You know what, that guy? He was like, people trust him. like me trust a lot of my bank people. Then me used to leave my deposit book with the bank people and them know me in New Kingston and whatever opportunity. I used to leave them to deposit my money. I just go in, the security the bank people lock, and I will hand them a book and say deposit this when I'm gone. I don't take no receipt from them. I do trust them. It happened to a lot of us. We trust people. But the point of the matter is
exactly.
So what I know? So I know about the point of the matter is what I know? The point of the matter is I always love to check my book. I love to drink coffee and go through my book and my statement and I balance my book. That is very important.
Yeah, but
so people leave up them business with account and you get robbed. Because your accountant will rob you. The senior man will overlook the accountant, he will rob you. Every damn person will rob you. And that happened to Usain Bolt. Everybody where you have a friend, where you trust, say, yeah, man, you deal with him and watch my back, he will rob you.
I don't think Bolt is bright upstairs. That's why. That's why. He's good at
let's put it in context. Hold on. Alton, let's put it in context. Don't say he's not bright upstairs. He's not financially literate.
He's not financially literate. Put that part here.
Knew that.
And again, and he gave up too much of it. He gave up too much trust.
Right.
With so much, with the amount of money, you can't.
So let me teach you something.
You have to close up to your money.
So let me teach you about trust. A lady ripped me off when I just started my business in a partnership, you know. And I'm smart, you know. When I go and check, because I leave the book with her friend, with her daughter, I do the book, you know. We just started business. What do you think me do? What I did, I start go through the book.
But
when I see the error,
look, you make you get there.
When I see the error, I take the book and go home and start do my thing, you know. Because you ever tell us about love check? Me love me add up and subtract.
They can still rob you.
You ever say to you?
They still rob you.
No, you ever say to you? Me say, me and me bill them together. I not dash my bill for years upon years. Me go through my bill. Me add up my order book, me sales book, me balance the book. Every month, everything, me write it out by the month, write it out by the year, by the week, whatever. Me do everything to me add it up for the year. Me balance the book. Me tell them, me have them. Me can't have them approve them, can't dig up. Me love to balance the book. Eh?
You know who can rob people? The bank them in America. Now I tell you, you have to be careful.
Okay.
Dog, your supper.
They will rob you 1 cent and make millions. One guy rob 1 cent. And wind up with 5 million. 1 cent alone I take me.
Let me tell you something. Me join a certain bank in America, yeah, right? And they might send me statement and thing. I might say, you know what? I go in there, I see, I make them pull it up. When they pull it up, they say, me have zero. I say, I'm mad. I couldn't tell you the bad way. I tell them. Then give me back my money at the same time, and me draw out all it and go to the other. They may rob you.
No, that is why I'm saying to you, you must know how much you're spending, you must know what you're doing, and you balance it, and when your statement not right, you can deal with that.
And I still rob you, my brother.
No, because
statement and I still rob you. I'm telling you.
No, but I'm saying to you, why you find out you're robbed? Because I'm saying to you, them already rob you. But I'm saying to you, if you don't balance yourself, your book, how much money you spend and how much money your income where you run through your bank, then you will get robbed. That's why you know you get robbed, you know. So what I'm saying to you, you will all right, even my supermarket bill. When I go home someday,
I agree with them, master.
Listen to me, my brother. You good, go and talk. Where you talk rubbish. Me done.
What else?
Where you talk, but then rob you same way. May I tell you?
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm not gonna rob you. That's not what I'm saying.
But what he's saying, from once you have the receipt, you can always get back your money.
That's how you find out till you get robbed. They rob you and send the statement to you. They
rob you. I'm telling you.
No, because they've already robbed you. So what I'm saying to you, if you don't check your statement, that's why I don't dash my bill. If you don't balance your book and know how much you're spending on all these things, I can rough check, you know.
I'm not argue. Keep your opinion. Done.
You're not understanding what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you.
You'll get robbed, you know, but you'll find out.
You'll find out before too late. That's what I'm saying to you.
When it's late, you don't get back nothing.
I mean, you come? Why? You know, I'm the power when me don't know. I'm not getting a joke. I'm not letting a joke. I'll tell you, it's different from me. Well, I know. Me live in California. I live in America. Let me tell you something. Me give a guy 3 check in California. I owe him my money. I'm a brethren. I'm going to give him 3 check. But, right? Come live from Florida, whatever, I live and went to California. So I was actually at his home, at the guest house, tell him pull out from my own, come here, relocate. And he gave him 3 check or 4 check, and guess what put him each month. Hold on, no? You know what he did? Him know in the state of California, any post-dated check, any post-dated check can be honored immediately. So if I write a check for next year, and you give a man, him can honor it the bank, honor it today. Him know that.
That is true. I know that.
So listen, no? So I give him check and him smile. You saw me go in and check my bill in a night, realize that the check gone through. You know what me did? Me call the bank. Me lie down for my bed and call the 1-800 number. When me call the bank and I tell them what going on my bank zero and my other check for my things them not gone through, I say, can I speak to the manager, please?
Yeah.
And when the manager come on, listen, you know, I said to the manager, ma'am, let me tell you something. I have been operating check from I was 18 years old. Okay? And I couldn't walk in a JC Penney and buy out the store and pay a check and rob them because I have the power in my hand with the checkbook what I have. I don't do it. No, I put my money in your bank for it and I trusted you. I don't know the laws of California that happened. I need my money to put back into my bank. I need a letter to all my creditors with the check, my other checks and bounce pan. I need a letter of apology to them, one, and it come to me stating that happened. And I need all the calls that I made. I need to reimburse, because when you make them call their check, them charge you one fee. I want all of them charges that come off.
Because not only that.
And I get, all right, darling, talk, baby.
When you do a post-dated check,
right?
What is a post-dated check? A post-dated check to say that the money is not in the account as yet.
Correct.
All right, that's what it's for.
That is a post-dated check. So the bank is not supposed to cash the check before the date. Even if you have money in the account, they cannot debit the account for that check because you're telling them, no, I don't have the money in there for this particular check until this date.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So you have a case against
honor
them.
it. So but California honor it. That's why he know that I laugh off of me and do it. But guess what? When I tell them that I was to my ignorance, that I did not know, and not because I'm ignorant to the fact, means I should be used.
But
so
is it a law? Is it a law? Or was it that the bank made a mistake and cashing it without realizing?
Hey, the club, you know, I don't know. Him tell me said the law of California.
Because I don't know if no bank would do that.
Thank you. I was going to say to you.
I don't know. So what happened?
It look like you know bank manager friend, you know.
No. What happened? When you give them the check, sometimes they don't look at the date. They don't look at the date and they cash the check.
Something happened.
Yes, so it could be a mistake, but I don't know if no bank could cash a post-dated check immediately.
You know, somehow Google and find out.
She's 100% right.
Yeah, but what I know, he said that's what he said in law when we asked him.
No, there is no law in there.
No law.
Even tell people up yourself.
But you know, whatever I said to them, that I put my money in the bank and I trusted in them. And then I put a post-dated check. I did not dishonor the bank by whatever it's supposed to be honored. They put back the money and reverse back everything.
That's why they gave it back to you. Because they know they effed up.
Right. But all my life, you see, in the business world, from I was 18, I've been operating checking account. And let me tell you something. I've always paid my bills in my post-dated check and whatever, with the travel service, and everything, and I've always get through. Them give me 14 days. I give the store 14 days. They do the same with me, and I do the same with others. And I never have an issue in an entire lifetime.
And you know what?
I tell them.
You know what? Nowadays, you know, most banks will tell you no, they don't accept post-dated checks. They give it back to you and says no. Because what we normally do in the bank, we have a diary where when you're bringing a post-dated checks, we'll put them in that diary. And then when the date comes, we check the diary every day to see if there's any check. When the date comes, then we deposit the check to the account. Now, what that does to the bank, the onus now is on the bank to deposit the check. So the bank them said, no, that is too much for us. If you bring in a post-dated check, they said to you, no, you have to come back on this date. But sometimes 1 and 2 of them slip through.
Okay,
where
yeah.
the teller cashed the check, didn't check the date on it,
Yes.
and put the bank. And anyhow you don't have the money or your other bill go back as NSF, you can claim back from the bank for those money.
Okay,
Because,
good.
I mean,
Well, what the
because
bank will
one
do
for
for
money
me
too.
though, are some business person
Hold on
with them
there,
new
hold on
stuff.
there, hold on there. We have
We just say so
JLP
one something.
and
We just want to find out something. We just want to find out something for you guys. We don't know if I show somebody else tell me something like, Marcia, you hearing about Valenita Robinson?
Yeah, she passed away.
Who that?
It's the lawyer.
With the
the
PMP one?
farmer PLP
Yes.
candidate.
Oh,
That-
man, I better talk about
Yeah,
PMP.
one
Yeah,
of the
man.
top
Let's
PMP
talk about
lines.
labor. If you're not labor,
You're
right, we
wicked,
start
Charles.
bad. But the PMP, I'm going to
Good
wicked
see,
and
guys.
wicked.
See the life.
Hey,
You're wicked.
But anyway,
wicked.
we're ready to campaign now. We're ready to
Look
campaign.
here. When you listen to
Yeah,
what
man,
I've
no
been
boss,
talking
we're ready.
yesterday, when you listen to what I've been
Then
talking
him here tell about now. Then
talk
my
about
boss that, now him tell us already now.
Yes. Yeah, man. Wow, man.
Yeah, man,
Yeah, as we were
man,
saying,
so
as we were saying
now.
about the post state.
No, man,
Oh.
don't talk
You
about
never know
politics, man.
if
Left
you're
out the
tribal,
bank.
you know.
No, man. Forget the bank business. Talk about the politics now, man.
Exactly. I like that boy.
Talk
I
about what
like
I
that
mean, talk.
boy telling you, you know.
Yeah, man. Forget that. Forget more bank
What
business.
did I talk about bank and run with
Yeah.
people?
And the press. I'm proud of the press.
business though.
Talk
Now
about
go
the
down
press.
to piece up.
Blessed good evening. Blessed good
And the
evening.
paper.
Yeah,
They are listen for me.
evening,
True, me not
evening.
for bank. Me just a listen.
Yeah, me never like that. Yeah. So the paper woman
Now
dead.
go down
When
to
she
piece
dead?
foot.
Eh?
When she dead? Yesterday?
I must have this morning.
This one.
Miss Walsh, was it of natural cause or something happened?
It seemed like
It's
she
a
was
natural
sick.
cause.
It seemed like she was sick before.
Okay.
Because the paper said she was ailing for some time.
Okay.
So I think yes.
She should leave Jamaica. Come America, come live.
I think unless somebody they tell lie, because at one point today I heard them discussing it. Some of the JLP bloggers, they were discussing it, and they said that she died a tragic death. And I'm like, well, if a tragic
But
death,
that is what I see in the newspaper, in the Observer, one of them paper. That's
Right.
why I asked you.
but when I went back and I read the Gleaner, they said she was ailing for some time and she died peacefully. Again, she died peacefully with her family around her.
So why the newspaper can so much misinformation?
Marcia.
Yes.
I'm telling them, I'm not trust the PMP. I'm not trust the PMP. Then they say if they tell me, they say if they tell me I'm dead of natural cause, I'm afraid that them me not believe.
Because
Me not trust them. Me I want allegedly, me I want for them listen to me now. Me I want allegedly for something find out her and take her home. Then they just
Marcia, good afternoon. Politics.
Good afternoon.
Marcia. Yeah, the man say.
Who
Lord
pass
have
off?
his mercy.
Which lady pass off?
But we're not rejoice over that.
No.
No.
Valerie Nita Robinson.
Oh, that liar.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, say she was once my daughter liar. That I did have a case and she did have a case.
Condolence to the family.
Yes.
I did.
Mhm.
So, and get up now. Get up
That's how
now.
we feel now. That's how labor stay.
Well, I know get up now. Might be a cancer because it's to work very hard.
Oh. It can't be something cancer.
No, do that. No, assume. No put no assumption.
I'm just saying because to me, it's to work. That's why I say that.
But you know something?
Nobody can say that in the car should die.
Yes,
So.
they know. Me don't know if I'm just speculating. So might be at that.
But we not have to be. But we don't want.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Yeah.
We not use it. We're sorry.
Yeah, we don't sorry. We don't
Get
give
something, and we say.
Well, like the way PMP them money now, me not trust them. I'm afraid of them do something.
I'm telling you, them love to kill her.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. It's true. They like
Them dangerous. Them dangerous.
What's what I mean?
But JLP me, they were going in a year side. We're going a year.
Well, all right, now me have a little piece can go in there. I know say this will come on and we are remote from the whole of a day there. I put out some little thing about Warmington. And the boss said, oh, they'll come on there. Go sit down.
Yeah.
And then we boss send some people down there go
clean up and place and catch a place and be patrol and sitting free. Cause I'm a complain about and in place pretty, you know. And place alright and
Well,
I
now
want
you
to
did
come
run
up.
the last time. Now you run against me last time.
Yeah, man, I mean, man, 5,000 I lick with man. This time I'm more licking with too. But the man, I get from what they see me push up here and I go on like say my MP and I talk about they want to move our sparks. I want to go place now. All over there, then call me Martin Lane. Like he want to move certain things from them and put it down in a field.
All
Place
over
all
be
over
all
there.
the supporting PMP though.
Yeah, but I'm not all wide. I style you down and beat him.
Yeah.
But seeing grandfather and his father run against something and you know, and then go on him and tell him say brother, and then PMP on him down. Then now go make you win nothing. I just say counseling him with him lucky. And him now with his wife, lucky. I style you go from down to one beat him.
Because the Labour Party guy do something wrong.
Then them.
We can't talk. But that's it. You know?
Oh, you're familiar with the
Yeah, man.
How do you? Of course, man. How do you?
Okay.
Because me there, but me know we are going big. You remember me they say we from young Jamaica, a few of us. You know?
Okay. But as I said, everything now, where people are ball for them, are going to see it now. Them are going to see the party out more.
Then he myself not fight for the people, the man.
How we know?
He myself for the people,
But guess what? We are right in
begging
the same are doing, because if you look for them, it says the PMP them can't pull out a crowd.
How we not boss in nobody?
But we say keep on meet last night up at 10 times. I don't want to do it.
Waste of time. We better than bit save them money and go somewhere. Go try so.
Everywhere they go, they're stuck.
You're right, them are a lot of money, you know.
It's stage full of people. When we look at them, when we look one time and go spin the camera in the crowd, we don't see nobody.
They move fast, that's true.
Yeah, but you know too, you know, them kind of run out of money, you know, and then desperate and watch what them do now. Them I use everybody with them I can go everywhere. I carry them all about and some of them are scram because them I say even somebody talk to me and say, yo, them not get no money and them not no money and them must work for boss and this and that and they can't follow.
This is why Andrew pull out the election, make them broke. They don't have no money at all, make them run out their money.
That's it.
Run out the election, go right down. Not give them no, because right now, if you give them a break, right?
Yes, master.
They may find money, but if you pull it down to August, when money tight on them, then you will know.
November, make money tight for them.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
No call no election
yes,
now.
Yes, man, say everything right.
No
election not call now.
Hear people that say June, July or so. No, run out to and ditch them.
Yeah,
broke them.
They spend hard, you know.
See, they've been campaigning for 4 years.
Yeah.
They've been campaigning for 4 years. I'm one of the dry up. That's why I see them fight. They might have in-house pricing.
They must fight to go in, they got to teeth up the money.
Yeah, they want to fight to go in, but teeth up the money, so they must spend hard to go in there.
No, we pray that December. We're not going to December again.
Why afraid of December?
The moment they lose today, they start campaign tomorrow.
Why would I make it? Me would want to make it stay so far. We have
they lose, they start campaign the next day, the Monday morning.
No, give them something there again too. No give him no more conference. No give him no more conference, because then conference of September.
That may believe Marcia, so they don't forget no conference.
No, because if you get them in a conference, you're gonna rile up the crowd.
Yeah, they're gonna rally up themselves.
Yes, so don't give them nothing of that there.
This Christmas.
No, but I like December.
Marcia, you know, say no easy. I'm bright girl. Marcia.
Yeah,
sometimes you roll on some things. No, you're too bright, you know, Marcia.
Politics that say we don't want not him. You know why they going on no.
Marcia bright, man. We know that long time.
You know why they going on
something there.
Yeah, man.
But you know see how something there. You know see how them talk about how the government, stupid people them talk about how the government cut the budget because they don't have no money.
But the Prime Minister
But what the government did, come on, we know what the government did. It's not the budget they cut, it's the debt. The debt that they cut, they refinanced the debt, get at a lower interest rate. Last year, they spent $850 million on social services. this year, because of the cut and the less money they're paying out into debt, is now $857 billion. So you cut off the debt where you pay people money and they spend more on the people them in the country. What is that not to understand? So that's why I said, look
We must
for
spend more
more.
on health and security.
Correct. Look for more.
Them a twist,
Look
man.
for more
The
schools
PNP, them a
being.
twist it.
Look for
school
more
and
schools
education.
being improved. Look for the pensioners get some money. Look for GCT. GCT might decrease again. Look for all of those things.
What about
That's
social
what he's
welfare?
doing.
I think
Look,
I think we'll
look
get
here, give me a second.
we think so we'll get one salary increase now.
Give me a second. Listen to me now. All we know is we are going to get election. That a little Christian want to ask you no. If he said we don't must have your election, you know. When I read behind the line, I go down the road, no. You think so the most election of it there? We can get a president down the line there.
Well, that
And
not
the
gonna
first
happen
president
now.
to them be.
That
not
not gonna happen for this year again.
Have we start out more?
We don't account you.
Because remember saying they need 2/3 of parliament in order
That's
to
what
have
we
a
start out
referendum.
more. That's not right now.
They need 2/3 of parliament.
Election. To vote for.
No, them need the opposition for.
No, them need it.
You see them all ungrateful old foot there. You see all them all ungrateful old foot there where they get money from the government and not support the government. Trust me, when Andrew give them some more money, we will see.
Oh my God, man. That's for the man. Slow the watch.
Oh, you like him a ball for the governor general 50 to sort out the IC because Fim boy them gone. Fim boy them a go away. And that's what him a ball out to the IC is the head them will be corrupt on the JLP. Because him no say him the buy up Fim one and have them. You hear me?
Yeah, as Jamaica that see the bad blood.
Why my ball out about the IC? Say, Governor General, I beg you, give a high. Select new IC that is not corrupt. Why ball out and because his group is going to
foolish bad. Would a foolish bad Paul fi put in at the last week in September. Oh, the last week of August. Okay, sorry, man. Yeah, man, you're spot on. Either last August or 1st of September.
Hey, I'm listening to you. I'm brand new, but I'm listening to you.
But I believe if PM, I go call his CMD as last.
Yeah, man, I write down them okay.
You know what going on? You know what going to school?
No, me say him not going to September. Because if him going to September, he's going to allow them. Remember, politics is a strategy, you know. It's a mind game.
No, man, them now it go come before the conference.
Yes, it's going to come before the conference. You're not going to December, so because for them conference are when? September.
Yeah.
So chances are we might have, and they're going to want to have it before school reopen. They want to have it before school reopen, so chances are they might have it around ending of August.
We don't want to go in on a school term.
Yes, we might have it around the ending of August. Might.
Well, once the city campaign start, you will kind of get a clear picture.
There's nothing to campaign on. They can't campaign for Andrew name again because that was garbage. So
exactly.
Hey, when you talk, you feel laughing at General, because you talk some fact, you know. Yeah, man.
Them are going to campaign for the house again.
Are you saying both them are you?
We get a truck coming fat.
But you say that both them are gone nice.
Hold on there. We have cut, can we get a truck coming fat to sheet apply, so we can to my side. So later.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
You said wire money, and they said, yeah, we got it. We got the money, and then send out one email to him, but he never got through. Then take the money and put that in pocket and clear it through. He never go into the system. And
it divert to another account.
It divert to another account. And the parents don't pick up that long time.
But that's why they were able to tell them, because anywhere the money go, the bank would be able to tell them where the money went to immediately.
They know. So when they go around and talk about government, I beg you say that if you say money go through them, you can sue them. But him don't know where to sue. But don't come back with the government to come bail him out. We're not bailing out nobody. I don't think that this. I'm mad, me love you saying, but guess what happened? We're not bailing out nobody. A school and children and nurses, everybody will bail out. I mean bail out at them, pay them money.
Remember, guys, remember, if the government is to bail out Usain Bolt, I'm gonna have to bail out the 200 people. So it's not only Usain alone.
Right.
And that's
We're not talking about.
So
that's what we keep on missing.
No, why should taxpayers be on the losing end? You got invest your money.
It's a private.
Why? And if you didn't make money, would you give the government any? When she was getting her $2,000 a month, she said she was getting $2,000 US a month. She was happy with it, she said. That's what she said in the paper. I'm not saying they shouldn't get back their money, but why should the government?
What the government have not
to pay for it?
What the government have is a court system. The court system run by the state, the justice system. So get your lawyer, get your damn lawyer, the best lawyer you can get, whether it be international, local, and just leave the goddamn government out of this. I keep saying to them, leave Andrew out of this. That's all I tell them. That's all I can tell them. I say, idiot, have some sense, because I lose half of you. But yeah, that but I don't get back my money. That's your goddamn business.
They can go after the financial service FSC because they owe the public. They owe the public.
No, but what I'm saying, go after that. But me talk about Andrew himself and the government of Jamaica have nothing to do with the agent of the state. Go after the agent of the state.
No. The government is, remember, so the state is, that agency is the government.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is not that all them make it look like, what I'm trying to say to them, right? You cannot go after, they will go after Andrew, say Andrew take them money. And that's what the people must say that
you can't go after Andrew and the Jamaica Labour Party.
That is what I'm saying.
Yes.
Leave them, they have nothing to do with that. That's your private business. Go after any entity you want. Okay, good. Go after the justice system, go after the banking system, the legislator, go after all of them.
The financial service, FSC.
That's what I'm saying, right.
You can sue them because they had the information. And even after they had it, people were still, even after they realized that they were doing something there, they should have suspended their license, number one.
They should shut it down and take it over. They should have
also informed the public immediately to say, do not
invest your money in such and such things. Right. And let the people aware, they call that aware.
Yes.
They did not do that. So somebody say, use a lawyer. Some dunce liar or something, you might idiot, You can't find some good liar in Jamaica.
But you know them something may take time though.
That is so true. No, that is so true. That is why
up to 5 years before you can sort them out.
But what I know, that is why I'm saying that idiot. That's why I'm saying that idiot be out there sit on TV and chat with CBM and all of them on the sunrise.
I think where he soured most people is when he come out and said the government has the key.
Right.
And I think that's where he's.
Are you a lawyer of the key?
Yes.
Get a pool of good damn lawyer.
Number two.
And sure it's no, so you must get back your money with the interest if you want.
Number two. His lawyer not supposed to allow him to do an interview that
to be talking and doing interview.
Yeah, you normally would give him certain questions, and tell him certain things we can't discuss at this time. It's an ongoing litigation. So we can't discuss much about it. But when you're gonna come out, and say that the government has the key to flip a switch and do ray.
Like a little child.
That is politics. That is politics right there for me.
Yes. That is what pissed me off, because he should have said, listen to me, it's in my lawyer hand. He's not even talk like a big coot, It's in my lawyer hand and I cannot give no information on that. I cannot speak on that. Leave that alone. But anyway, I don't get my money yet. That's all I can say and leave it at that. And talk big. You talk like some little punk. I say, one time I say, come like a little girl and a boy. I want to tell you.
Because when Emily, I think
never describe him.
All right.
So, sorry.
I think it was Emily who interviewed him and the lawyer. And he said, but why would Usain Bolt say that? And his reply was, remember, Usain Bolt is not a lawyer. That's what that is his lawyer said that. No, you can't allow your client to be running their mouth like that. I don't
Him
care.
liar look like him's like a wimp too. Which liar them the idiot there? Come know you have no good liar. Me know you're no big
No
name
man,
at
a
all.
big
Are you that liar
liar.
them
Big
after?
liar way.
I'm like some
A
little
good
girl.
liar, a good liar, them a PNP.
Yeah, but that idiot, but you're big PNP with one to Churchill League and all that. You're a big liar in a PNP more than that. But that wouldn't say nothing. That's some little wimp girl.
Jade,
Anyhow,
girl.
let's go back to what the
IPMP,
JLP they do. So we're Warmington cuss them out and say now.
hold on, man. IPMP Jaden this. Jaden.
Him same one. Man, him a screen record your screen.
I bet so we come in so quiet.
Him same
You
one.
don't fear nothing, you know.
Hi Jaden, how you doing?
Kids settle down here.
You love
Yeah,
you love the PNP JLP live, you see?
Me like it. You know what, PNP? Me love when people talk with sense. Me not lie to you. You're a man, you have money. Money talk and bullshit talk. You make your money talk for you, man.
But maybe if you did in
Yeah,
the same position, I say you'd not even go on worse in again. So I'm not even blame him.
Oh, that? No, because let me tell you why. No. Because I grew up in the business world, and let me tell you,
Thank you,
my
Paulie.
business world, I have worked around some of the leading businessmen in stores. Just like the Carbies, the Miami Department Store, the Lee Fifth Avenue, the Azans, them across the island of Jamaica. I work with all the top big men in Jamaica.
Yeah, but lose so much money.
And that is fame. So whether fame money tick and mine was a measle, it doesn't matter. But I've been professional. I've been professional, and me and them never have no bullshit. Never have no issue like them shit. Yeah. So I'm lacking wisdom, I'm lacking control. I don't know what to say. We didn't want to talk with him. God believe me, because I'm not sound like somebody sensible. We never hear more of goddamn conversation.
That's man.
He's a ninja man. But a ninja man chat up him up. He make me have to come out of my bed twice to listen to Ninja Man. I tell you the truth, skin dog and skin teeth. I mean, meet Ninja Man personally, and him think me was a cop. Him think me was a cop and run up him out, and then when him see me now make no move and me talk in an intelligent way, Ninja Man tell the taxi man to move and say, we don't shoot police. If you're police, we don't shoot you. Car, move the car. In my professional way, me talk to him. Ninja Man one night, many years, over 20 or 30 years back. But when I say, Ninja Man, but I rather listen to Ninja Man than listen to them. I just threw him thing why I don't really share him things because I don't work in inappropriate
words.
words.
I entertain a board do track and feel so.
Wait, say with Ninja Man? No, but it's not about track. It's not about track, you know, it's about professionality, the way you talk. Come on, man.
But let me ask this question. Remember when Cash Plus happened? How come me never hear this big outcry?
He just died on and all my money get away. He never gone to prison.
Yeah, man. He didn't go prison. I never got prison.
He never stay long in jail. I tell you that. Him get bail and we don't know the case done. I tell you that. That die out.
Until today, people are still, they are
people
still
don't get their money.
Still not get
so
their
money. Can't
money.
go and talk. I mean, I tell you that. On the Worldwide, the one we're named Worldwide, him get to Jamaica too. But go Turk and Caicos and go farm back one of that thing up there. And the man them hold on pan him, American hold on pan him up there, them up there for something else. The time they do Time America, you know, Worldwide, something like Smith. Him do Time America with things like those two. Get where come at Jamaica, get away at Jamaica, run go Turk and Caicos, and then hold on pan him up there. For other things. So me want to show you, I'm a hypocrite. Don't call my prime minister name, I tell you the truth. Me different from you, you know, darling. I love all of you, you know. But yes, when you come on to Andrew, me not take no talk. Me with this, me style you. Me not chat, you know. We don't style you and call you idiot, dumbass. Come here, style you, see, as a guy we respect. But me style you. Don't put Andrew name in it. Oh.
No, Jaden, you're PNP. I mean, we have two uneven work, Jaden.
Just sad to know. Me love Andrew and wife. Me love Andrew and wife.
But yes, me tell Jaden to you not like him.
Exactly, thank you. Me just say. Yeah, we are two uneven work.
Yeah, man. I want to get back him money, though. I would love him to get back him money, deserving money. And I'm praying for him that thing will work out.
And the truth, can I say something?
Yeah.
The truth about it is,
whether it was Bolt or anybody else, whoever did it, they are wrong and they're supposed to be caught and the man must get back his money. And all the other persons who were swindled also, they need to get back their money. And
Yeah, what
I heard the lady
happened
invest.
to the money?
I heard the lady invest in a wood apartment. You hear about it? Them find apartment where she invest, you know. I know she rent alone, you know. All them attack, you know. Me know say what a big boy
What
night,
get
and
to me feel?
he manager the night too, you know.
Me feel
He manager the night.
I know she alone.
Me feel say they might try wash the money to put it back, but the money just
And that end up. Then collect it and wash it.
And that me feel it happen.
I backfire.
Me feel say
And it backfire.
they might wash the money.
But I mean, even so, them find it in a Amazon or whatever place where it invest in, you know. But they not say they can't say for free money. That's the whole thing, you know. Can't you what? If everybody have no mark for it. You understand?
Yeah,
but they
but
find
me feel
investment
say-
in Amazon and several international companies.
Nationwide news.
Me feel say they might try wash the money.
I wash them, they
to
wash
put
it
back.
on the world washing.
Yes, but me feel say certain things go down and the money get messed up and they can't put it back. So that's
I
why.
not messed up. It not mature enough to come back to them so fast enough before it start leak. Right?
I lose
What
them, lose
beat
the
them
money.
This money come like a
lose
cash
them,
plus
lose the
and all
money.
in.
I lose
That's
them,
same
lose the
thing.
money.
Money come like cash plus and all in.
I rinse it. Those money rinse.
Oh, una did remember Stanford. Stanford still in a prison, though.
Alan Stanford.
Yeah.
I 100 year ringgit in come up now, man.
I 100 year ringgit.
Who was he again?
I 100 year Alan Stanford did get to the cricket money. A Christopher Gale who won inherit.
Oh,
Everybody
yes,
give it
remember
back,
that man
back
there.
to them. You take back for them money. Chris Gale.
They not
Chris
gamble
Gale
there,
money
gamble.
back because Chris Gale care for him to Jamaica College.
No, gamble him there, gamble him though. Take away people their money, him do.
No man, him be that big businessman, but him be in some
cricket in the cricket and give how much.
I mean, a betting man, betting business, undercover betting. Undercover and
But
you see how funny life is? And she's so stupid to the woman Panton. You're so damn stupid because the whole of we in a business that rob people money. You have your son in the business. You not tell your son, say, boy, take the fall. You're gonna tell me to take the fall. Meanwhile, you and your son they live big and free. Please, why would I do that?
And our PNP man, the MP of St. Catherine.
Why would I go take the fall for every? The whole of we gonna go down. And the whole of we used to thief.
Opposition spokesperson on finance.
Who that?
Go ahead and play it now.
As the deserves rebuke for attempting to mislead Jamaicans into believing the party took any effective action to protect investors when fraud was rampant at SSL between 2012 and 2013. Senator Fitzhenley is also cautioning the PNP against using Usain Bolt's name in what he says is a brazen attempt to conceal its failure to protect investors against rampant impropriety at SSL. Ahiri Stewart reports.
In standing by his statement made at a JLP Area Council 1 meeting on Sunday, that the PNP did not take any action to protect investors against rampant fraud at SSL in 2012 to 2013, Senator Fitzhenley says several key facts are matters of public record. He says it's a matter of public record that on or about July 17 and August 9, 2012, and again in 2013, the Financial Services Commission, FSC, cautioned SSL against certain actions and issued directives concerning the acquisition of assets without prior approval. He says former PNP President Dr. Peter Phillips, who was Finance Minister in 2012, is quoted in the media as saying that although he was aware that the FSC had written to SSL, he cannot recall whether he had been fully briefed on SSL's precarious financial state. Fitzhenley described it as hypocritical and brazen for the PNP to attempt to shift the blame for pillaging of investor accounts at SSL. He says the overwhelming majority of Usain Bolt's money was defrauded while the PNP was in office.
Mark Golding, Julian Robinson, and the PNP have been attempting to mislead the people of Jamaica into believing that the former PNP government took any effective or decisive action to safeguard Jamaican investors when egregious issues were brought to its attention concerning the operations of SSL in 2012-2013. The fact is, no decisive or effective action was taken to safeguard the interest of the Jamaican investors, and no twisting or turning from Golding, Robinson, or the PNP will hide that fact.
The senator also rejected claims by the PNP that the JLP government eased restrictions placed by the PNP administration on SSL. He says such claims are categorically false. Senator Fitzhenley is also chiding the PNP for politicizing a matter which he notes concerns one of Jamaica's finest ambassadors.
What I find unfortunate as well about the entire narrative is the move by the PNP to bring the name of the iconic Usain Bolt onto the political platform in a bid to mislead Jamaica and the icon into not recalling public record, which indicate that the majority of his principal investment, 86% of it, was fleeced when they were in office and at a time when they were made aware of issues at SSL, but did not take any decisive action to safeguard the Jamaican investor.
Fitzhenley says it's shameless that the PNP would exploit the name of Usain Bolt in their quest for political mileage.
Usain, who has given a lot to Jamaica, and not once in doing our country proud did he depend on politics. I believe he deserves better than his name being exploited by desperate opposition politicians who are clearly hungry for political power. So much so they are willing to say anything and use
Can I say something? Can I say something? Can I say something? Can I say something? No, you see the reason why I was so angry and pissed off. This end is talking good and everybody's defending Usain, and I love him, but we can't defend him because let me tell you, I'm not gonna defend him. I want him to get back his money and everybody. But none of them are using name. He's a bullshit idiot too. Because he should never allow them to use him blasted name. He should have come out like Gaza cartel say. Me not in on politics thing, you know. Me I go deal with my thing, and the man them take away money from long time, and I'm own a leadership, the Phillips. Why the shit him no mash them? You want to jump on the wagon to make Andrew look bad because election have come up. Can I say a word? I'm going to say a word, and my apology. Usain Bolt can kiss my ass.
I second the motion.
My apology.
Nah, come on. Let's not go
No,
there.
please. No, because he should never allow them to use him that way.
But we understand.
He should never allow them to use him like a scapegoat.
Yeah.
Right. Make it look like this government.
We
No
understand.
election here. That's what hurt me.
Right.
Now kiss me, now beg him no apology.
No.
Tell you the truth. We're sorry if you have to say it live, but me just tell like come out with it and say it. And one thing with me, when a word come to my mouth, I don't curse inappropriate word. But I felt like telling him that. Don't touch on, don't touch the liver and mix up and bullshit.
Right.
Let me hear from Mr. St. Thomas.
The rest of the case, we done talk. We get up on my mind, because I can't be a hypocrite.
On social media, Valerie Nita Robertson described herself as a country girl and a proud mother of many. She was born in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, but grew up in Appleton, St. Elizabeth with her 5 siblings. She later came to Kingston to take up a scholarship at the Wolmer's Trust High School for Girls. Mrs. Nita Robertson attained her LLB at the Cave Hill campus of the University of West Indies in Barbados and her LLC at Norman Manley Law School in Kingston. She began her legal career as a junior to the late Anthony Spalding and Ian Ramsey, QC. She served at the bar for 47 years. She was appointed Queen's Counsel in 2016. Mrs. Nita Robertson won the respect of her peers who point to her sharp wit and her social justice advocacy. She stood in some of the biggest criminal trials in Jamaica's history. Among her clients was dancehall star Vybz Kartel. In addition to her legal prowess, Nita Robertson's commitment to her country and social justice led her to entering representational politics. She was a member of the People's National Party. She served in several capacities, including Councillor for the Augusttown Division of Eastern St. Andrew in 1986, legal advisor to the party, member of the campaign team, and campaign manager in West Rural St. Andrew, West Portland, East Rural St. Andrew, and Western St. Mary. She was also the PNP candidate for West Portland in the 2020 general election. In March 2020, on the occasion of Women's International Day, then president of the party, Dr. Peter Phillips, hailed her as tireless, fearless, and uncompromising. He said, quote, "She possesses consummate trial skills and exceptional court craft. Her fearlessness as an advocate is legendary and is applied irrespective of the identity of the client. Her energy and passion for advocacy has led to her being a founding member of the Advocates Association of Jamaica and vice president and executive of the Jamaica Bar Association. Valerie Nita Robertson leaves behind 4 sons, daughters-in-law, grandchildren, sisters, brothers, nieces, nephews, and other family members. Writing on social media on Monday, her son, Abraham, said, quote, "Save a nice spot for me. My
She never married?
quote." Roby Ann Williams for Nationwide News.
Meanwhile, members of the legal fraternity have described King's Counsel Valerie Nita Robertson as a legal pit bull and a strong advocate of the profession. President of the Jamaican Bar Association, JAMBAR, Kevin Powell, says the profession and the country have lost a true stalwart.
I'm shocked and saddened, and I think I speak for the Jamaican Bar Association as well. Deeply saddened by the passing of Mrs. Nita Robinson Casey. She was a distinguished member of the legal profession, and I would describe her as a formidable advocate, a very strong attorney at law who represented her clients with significant zeal. I think she had a strong commitment towards the rule of law and the mentorship of young attorneys. And her passing is a tremendous loss to the legal community and to Jamaica as a whole.
That's Kevin Powell, president of JAMBAR. For his part, attorney Bert Samuels says he and Casey Robertson practiced law together for over 4 decades.
And I've done many cases, very seminal cases in Jamaica. She was a fighter. We called her privately a pit bull. So, defense of her clients. There's no other defense lawyer who was so serious about putting the defense, effective what that defense was, whether the client was popular or unpopular. Valerie just worked on her instructions. She was fearless. She was able to take on judges. They were trespassing on what she thought was her client's rights. And she'd be sadly missed. She was also my attorney, my personal lawyer. I recall doing a matter in which I thought the judge was going to cite me for contempt, and I had to go for her. Long memory, and the fact that she was a very good role model for young lawyers, who she had several under her wings to show what good counsel, strong counsel.
Shut it down now.
Bert Samuels, attorney at law, and attorney Christopher Townsend recalls his last encounter with her.
You can't shut it down now. Yeah, we're not far. But a church will need a sister. A church will need a sister.
She never married?
Yeah, no, Robinson, she name, married name. Robinson.
But you only not mention her husband.
The Robinson, we don't know. Maybe she, lady not empowered sometime, they married and the husband silently, not the relationship, you know.
That's true.
Yeah. It was
just somebody.
Come on, let's go back to Andrew and in business.
Yeah, left that alone.
Yeah. Well, she was a stalwart, and a church elite assist, and she did great. So.
Tell me, we hear your business, Sharon. We hear your business. Not beat the pitney.
No, yeah, we are here. Here. Come, we always see a lot of people abuse children, you know. No, we don't want to go on a store. They come in like people abuse children. They spoil children. Yeah, man. Anyway.
Yeah, so,
mercy.
So politics, where we at now? In politics.
I like how the GLP coming out firing at everything. There you go. That's what I was asking for all the time.
Oh, yeah, me always I wonder why they take years.
Yeah, to reply.
Exactly. Like them investigate before they jump on them.
Yeah, no. By the time you investigate one news story, that is still
A new story, they switch already and come up with something else.
exactly because see yesterday him come out and spread propaganda to say that it was the GLP. Fitz Henry come back out today and say 86% of his money was taken out under the PNP. What did they do?
88%. Yeah.
What did they do?
He never go in there. He never invest. I took that long time, but I'm in a story business.
Did they tell Jan public then? No. So how you gonna come and blame the Prime Minister now?
Because they want you me tell you, say they want to use as a scapegoat for election. It's an election plan. They have nothing else and can't talk about him take $1 trillion. Now them say you seeing money in take away.
I said the trick. The snowman and the last depend on.
Yeah, I last try, you know. So you still I last clear them are you.
You know what I think.
The worst thing
you know what I
have to say something now. Is you seeing Gambia you sit on TV. You should I'm gonna say you seeing should have try because he's not smart. He shouldn't invest all of that money in one place. Come on. About a place. Every time you go in Jamaica MMB, with Donna Scott Duncan Bank. We tell them put money in there because they have government.
Sorry, politics.
Yes, sir.
Leave it alone.
You see our money alone.
Leave him alone.
Let's go about this. Some of them about it.
And I could know less about board.
That is true.
Yeah.
That's
true.
Go
back to politics now.
Yeah, man. We have.
I tell the politics, you know, but go on to another politics.
One Love, when I say something, you know, One Love was saying something.
Yeah, One Love, talk.
No, me go clear up something pertaining to bowl thing where me don't really want to dive in it too much.
Okay.
But bro, he's not the smartest person, and him liar is a knowing PNP activist. Linton Garden is a comrade. So I think I don't think Bolt even realize the damage what he might do to the party now, as God live it. Because I think we overrate some people too much, you know.
Listen to me.
So Garden, I use it as a political mainstream party.
When we're gonna say, hold on, let me just clarify something here. When we're gonna say don't discuss, you say, don't get into the personal to say stupid, should I do this and should I do that? We talk about how the PNP is involved in it. Not in terms of
that's why I mean so that my part, yeah.
Not in terms of personal, hold on, not in terms of the personal part. Where you said he was stupid enough to do this and he had no sense and he had no, but we link PNP to that part of it. So that's what we're saying.
Right.
Because PNP is highly tied up in it.
No, the part is for making the PNP an escape, but that's the only part where I'm getting into.
Yeah.
His decision is not about my interest. It's all them having him to campaign to use this because them don't have nothing else. If you look
background,
they have nothing else to campaign
not only that, if you look is when the Blue Dot poll came out.
Yeah.
The Blue Dot poll came out show that he is the JLP is leading. So to take
and
away,
they're going backward. And they're going backward.
Away that from them, they had was to do something, and this is what they came up with.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
And they're trying to. You notice how we're not talking about the KSAMC scandal anymore, too.
Right.
Guys, don't know to me I get nice gift, you know.
Yeah, I tell you.
Marcia.
Right.
Marcia.
Yeah.
Knowing Bolt background, I feel, I'm going to say it from day one, I fail to acknowledge that he's a part of this. He's only that fee money and he's just a liar because he's a name brand liar. I think I do it.
But they need to come out and tell them.
But as a good lawyer.
Bold appearance, you know. You know, say bold appearance a JLP.
That's what I'm saying.
Based on his background, I won't accept that he's a part of. Remember, say when Bruce Holding Bolt and I know the PNP reject oppose it, not saying too young, you know.
Yeah.
Good evening, people. Good evening.
Oh, I'm gonna come.
Bruce, give me an
what may I say? Well, let me say Ian. Let me just say something.
Sorry, yeah.
Let me just say something. Let me say Ian. Both parents, they are not both labor rights. His mother is PNP, his father is labor rights.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I said it. Yes.
So they're not both labor rights.
I said. Yeah.
Mother support the PNP and his father support the Jamaica Labour Party.
My both parents are PNP. But that's what in many houses, you know. The family split in two. You get it.
Hey, crew, how they are see you?
There, man. I mean, I see you.
What you mean? Me dey live.
This is our classic. A classic, this?
No, man, politics is politics attack.
Everybody,
politics. Okay. We can't advise sound so much alike. Sometimes
No,
your
so I'm classic just no, so they sound totally different.
Oh, that's all
Not because of me, I get to give at least carry on. Send gift.
Me what? Oh, you wanna get so much money gone? Or you wanna get so much money gone? You wanna get them shot them? What?
See the coach, so I mean I get no
But I feel him the live.
Oh, yeah. So they can't just stop for him.
Why can we just shoot you, sir?
Some more. Carrie, big up yourself, girl.
Thank you, Carrie. Thank you. Yeah. So no, what I'm saying is that okay, that's his lawyer, right? Why would the lawyer then allow him to come out in the middle of an election to come and talk about how the government's supposed to do better?
Because the lawyer
is a plan thing.
Exactly.
It's a plan thing. It's a politics game, card playing. Yeah. That's right. So we are opening the camera worm. It's a politics thing. That's what made me the upset. Sorry about what I said earlier, but me upset. I first never ever done that on a live in all my life. On a social media, ever use a word like that. I apologize. But I was so pissed off because you know what happened? For your man, we all of us sympathize with him and honor him, can deserve whatever. He should never play politics. Yeah.
No, he probably never realize, as what Chrome said. He probably never realize.
Yeah. Because them advise him to talk and say,
the thing is, it's a frustration, and then somebody in your ears that give you bad advice. When I
but he will get back his money. I'm telling you. I thought he had to get it back.
He's going to get back
his money. I see where I'm going to get his money.
Who's going to get?
No, what me I try to say?
Man, no come after that, man. I said, no, they talk something, no.
Not from the government. Not from the government. Him can sue
what I'm saying.
Apartment and all those things. That's his business.
What I'm saying.
Master, what case is he? What case is he?
With the one people stand down there with them
Yeah, man, that's what talk about. Come on for your boat business.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
That's it. Yeah, what's going on there? I don't know what's going on.
The last time we come out was that they have something there to people who forget money and who forget work and who not forget work.
No, the thing is gone on there yet.
Well, they're still investigating it. Not come out of it as yet.
Yeah, man, investigate it, man.
No wonder how them do it. Me do wonder how them do it.
Some people are demonstrated it. Where did the people come from? Both now water and road at that point.
Hold on a second, we could do one topic at a time. I'm too fast.
Yes, man.
Me did wonder how them did do the Prime Minister investigation so fast. When they get it on the house, remember the house?
Yeah.
And you see how quick Kevin did fly go up there?
Yeah. And the so-called business where I'm not a part of anymore. Or they reach up there on the spot to check it.
Want to say something about Swaby? I see him there up and down. All of a sudden get so busy and I try to come to the limelight. But he might fix up park for taxi man all them something there. See him in the news last night. Say he make park for the taxi man all kind of something. I take him go do to PMP himself. That may I tell you. You know, see in the limelight I go around but my fix up one park for them taxi man for park downtown. One park for them fix up for park up. And taxi man them say through the one of them they licky and love for the PMP. Yeah. Yes, man, it's good, man. This good because this help you because we want to spot a long time for park and rare. Even in the news last night, Dottie Swaby, if it had time for resign after the corruption or then keep it down the corporation. So limelight him a look and I come out now. Yeah. He said I take away him resign and take away Dottie self, PMP self. They never see it, they never see news and see him.
So hey, Chrome.
Yeah.
You know say PMP not only suppress information, you know, they suppress the truth, you know.
Yes,
when Swaby go come out and say parish council don't disburse money. What you mean? Check on the money. When you go to the parish council office, go collect a check, and the money you gotta go collect.
No, what I want to say, you know, this like the physical, but that you want to say, but in the feed, that man.
So when you go to go collect a check, and the money you go to go collect?
No, no the money. A check.
No, look, sorry. No, look, sorry. Me tell, yo.
A check and the money, a check then collect and the money.
When the
Yo, they gonna make a check.
Yeah, when I'm saying the smaller man won't understand what I say. Won't see it as nothing. And so true them disperse money. They
disperse cash
to pay workers, whether it be check, cash or kind, it doesn't matter. They pay up all the workers across Kingston. But they are lying so never gone. No better. All you have to say
I'm more than one check to go Parish Council to go collect. So I have to know if I no money. If check on the money.
That makes sense.
Alemado, I look at name there. I try to take the scandal off him. I just go and do with Shelly and about key of the city. Then I come go along talk about that taxi man. He might look part of the taxi man them and reference last year. Them check him and Ray. And I know all of a sudden I know him want to do for the taxi man them.
Yeah.
Junior na corruption and I lie him like no. I don't for corruption. We are going to the corporation. You might find time to do things the taxi man now.
Since you know at it, here also me shoot fast. The man we are talking about demonstration and water. Water Commission sent a text message to my phone from last week, Friday. Say water go away yesterday and today because the pumping station are electrical low voltage. Water just come back. Water just come back at my yard. At the tank me that use from the voice. PNP I will have a drum in
relevant.
May I answer you same time?
So me I say so what they say all these years. All these years. But they didn't have no road and water till it got on no
man, you know say I know you understand what I want to know. The water cut off.
One love, but this week with good confidence kind of them plan up man. And now got them the people Portmore we have over near 500,000 people.
Yeah.
And 100 can come out. It shows that people want to parish.
May I say politics?
And hold on, Raymond Price says it's not a Portmore crowd, it's a St. Catherine crowd.
If you come and see no Portmore people there, I don't see no Portmore people there.
What people come on in like with you?
We used to say go full speed ahead to the government. The people want
so they want hospital.
Hospital 5 minutes from them or 10 minutes from them. I'm more than one.
Yeah.
Man a port and look about the port and people man a St. Mary.
Yeah.
Hey.
So got sentence be no.
Hospital?
No.
A Clarendon may come from. And most of people on that side of Clarendon, most of them. And a Clarendon them born in Manchester.
Manibla Hospital. Manibla Hospital?
For our time, mate.
Manibla big hospital?
Politics. Me live at the back. Me live at Helsha. And it take me roughly 15 minutes without traffic to reach a Spanish Town Hospital.
Of course.
So when they chat that garbage.
I will the PNP them are going now help them. We're going to be a sick.
So that no I want them attack like a one.
One for master,
one Jamaica.
One for master.
They have one.
Guys,
they want make nice over at all.
They want next narrative, no. Chromas, they want next narrative are spreading up.
And then again, one love. And then again, look
I want to go.
Look on the kind of people that come out. You see that you don't follow blow that pole accurate body there.
No, that may I tell you.
The kind of people that come out and then 50 and 60.
Look at you should have noticed. Put more people than no time to come out there so come them and say they gonna work.
People gonna work politics.
Believe Portmore in the
go against the government.
Politics.
You can pay them.
Politics. All the land one in Ingram. Them have a narrative plant that they head. Me don't know where they get it from. Portmore a PMP place. A 3 constituency there Portmore and JLP have 2. All Portmore a PMP place. And Fitzjackson just barely a 1.5 constituency.
That's what beat him. Almost lose the day.
I love the claims that for a long time because they said them and then build the most house over there with metal and them. So for them place. Yes, sir. For them place.
That's why I'm
that's what the man that that foolishness them man.
Remember Jamaica PMP country, so that's how them claims things.
Yes, so them claims things.
You also the Prime Minister bill better than Matalan.
Of course,
Them just like to claims.
Right.
Hey, Chromas, you know, say in a Andrew, 9 years. You know, say Andrew build about 3/4 of the house, the PMT build a Portmore, a greater Portmore.
Yeah.
When you had up all of the house when built on Dumble Road, the Phoenix phase 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And who is the MP for them? I don't really know it all.
Fitzjackson, man. That's one I nest. That's one I'm biggest nest.
Okay. Because you know a club side come from Dumble Road.
That's one I nest.
Oh,
yeah, man.
Racing that in a Turlang place though.
What's that?
Racing.
When you're racing. You're not right now.
Us
Racing.
When them
you know, since there's somebody I know say came on as part there in a big grab constituency. Me can't up to now me can't figure it because I know it
Gregor Park. It's back at Gregor Park and one of them place there.
Thanks, Peter. I've made a big grab constituency in our Turlang.
Me I tell you somebody that me on live today say one a big grab worker tell me. When a big grab worker tell me today on live say a big grab constituency. But me I say Independent City. Suppose that part of Independent City is supposed in a Turlang constituency.
Mr. Turlang is back at Gregor Park too.
Turlang,
a Turlang place right there. So came as the back stretch. I came as garden at Gregor Park and came as estate.
Me I want to say the same thing. Me I want to say the same thing, but he might tell me say no. So me don't want to run him down because
in the whole of them place and Gregor Park. A Turlang place.
Somebody else say a big rab, somebody else say a rab.
Exactly. It confused me.
I heard it was
Them say when the constituency boundary change, a big he gone out to big grab.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
One love. When the people then keep press conference.
I heard they're supposed to start it back, right?
Me know it.
Then they keep a press conference over Portmore over there. Friday.
That night mash up, man. No, the one that really mash up.
No, we not talk that one. They keep a press conference recently.
No, I don't have that.
Yes, my God. TV. They keep a press conference about Portmore. PMP them alone.
Oh, Raymond Price are in here.
Fitzjackson and all of them there. The press conference like they still go on table and array with PMP.
PMP something.
PMP press conference them keep a press conference. And them that talk about the incident that happened at the white name there. You see one with the Mia. Yeah, they keep a press conference either Friday or Saturday. One of them.
I know say Fitzjackson supposed to try to do damage control and all, but the video record, the video footage now go doing no justice because he can't de-escalate something and him and the police by grabbing people things and pushing the people.
No, it was very rude and out of the people have the right to protest. Have nothing to do with him.
Which is Portmore want to become a parish. If Portmore never want to become a parish, you don't see people come out like angry.
No, but Fitzjackson wanted it from long time to come up. They don't want
people on social media.
No, but they
want people on social media they talk about it.
No, they wanted it to be a parish from long time. You know, that's why they put up a mayor. You remember the Chinaman? Mayor Lee?
A Chinaman, you know, Chinaman Lee.
George
Lee, a black man, but Lee.
Because they said they wanted their own me and they wanted to become a parish.
Why?
But you didn't get a chance.
But yeah, it's easy, you know. Chimani is a Chinaman. Yeah, I'm a black man.
I'm a black man.
He better answer.
A black
He better
man.
answer. He better
Yeah,
answer.
the first we over them, man. The first
And him
we
wife,
have a Pope or George Lee. Him
him
did want to
wife,
be a parish
him
for
wife,
5 or
his wife was
6.
a labor right
Him
there.
wanted to be a parish. From the
Yeah.
time in their work people before a parish when they get sick and
Yes,
dead. In their work for it.
yes.
I overthrow them,
But
overthrow him to and take a seat, you know.
yeah, we never remember say one black man.
No, man, I see him sick and then. I see him sick and then.
No, me I say,
No,
yeah,
me
I remember say
no.
one black man.
No, me can't. True, me can't remember. Me not lie.
I see him sick and then.
You remember
No, me
George
think
Lee
about
a
Chinese
Chinese man,
man.
but
He never about Chinese. He never say it's a full Chinese, really.
me don't know,
He
him
never
and Lee
quite.
still, so you know, so majority
man.
we mix up
A
still,
black
so.
man.
But a
A
black
black
He
man,
man,
never.
he
bro.
more black
I mean black.
more than
He never
Chinese.
know quarter Chinese
Black
or nothing.
man.
Name.
No.
He must have
Yeah,
got
look
China
what
for
I
name.
said.
He must have
Remember the
a
China
China
man,
for name Lee.
the black woman.
Me
about
saying
something.
no Chinese name, man.
Oh man, I know a whole heap of somebody when name Lee way and black.
Right, did it. No
Remember,
one go in
Mr. Lee.
go to workplace, one go. So if we go to one girl, and a CMP one time, I said, I deliver something to one girl, and he miss Chin name. And when me go meet the girl, one big black woman, big fat man, black woman. You have no Chinese in her. So you tell
You know
me,
they get the word chin. Let me tell you that some of them get the word chin because
It's a rule when I go down the politics we attack.
No, they get the name because them what you call no slave master something. They don't really have right. That's what I mean. They come.
Yeah. Can't be doing with your style.
Chin, well, I know that they're not coming now, man. Chin is a Chinese name, but black people, every China people in us call them Chin. That's just so it go. For your China, they say Chin. That's the first Chinese name that come out of their mind.
Chong.
But, Kuroma, you go and meet last night?
Meeting?
Yeah.
When is it over meeting again? Flavor?
China, yeah, flavor.
No. I don't mind consider, but me there work still.
We gotta watch it. It was very good.
It was good. But next have a look at the digital meet and the turnout was good. Mopper.
Mocha meeting?
I ain't not look like them they import nobody politics.
No,
I want to look at meeting, them not import nobody. I just, it's 3 division of meeting.
JLP not really import, you know. Them always use them subdivision people around them.
Even Nesta surprised, right? Nesta and I look for that turnout there.
Eh? The people them serious now. People them deliver right now gonna make PNP win. You crazy?
PNP as an input people, man. That's where they keep meeting, man.
Yeah, man, and like a
But
style.
they pay. They forgot meeting.
But I know that, you know, see, last night, as Ben said before, last night, the meeting couldn't start until the opposition come with the people. Them. Oh, them really have.
That's what East Rural?
Nobody named that.
No East Rural, West
Nobody
Rural.
named that.
Arrest
Rural.
Upper
Juliet Cuthbert.
Oh,
yeah, man, West Rural.
you know where because Joan Garden Webley run against Cuthbert.
That's East Rural, that man.
No, East Rural. Up the upper part Juliet, there is West Rural.
Cuthbert.
Watch me. Don't make it fool me again. It fooled me today. Joan Garden Webley now run against Mrs. Solness, you know. Cuthbert Finch run against.
Cuthbert Sharon is my story inside of that side.
So when I East Rural, I want to West Rural. She moved from East Rural and gonna West Rural.
Let me tell you something. Joan Webley need to go pack up. Because she ain't gonna win.
Me, I wonder what you wanna look for again. What you want really look for?
She get
money. Somebody curl some money around up there, man. Somebody curl some money around the cash, money up there. You know, yes, she run money up there.
She lost her husband at one party. Maybe she'll try to find an ex-husband and she did a party.
She done.
I was going to JLP. I was going to JLP, no?
West Rural.
Captain Webley wife, man. Captain Webley wife, you know.
He was the MP for Eastern Kingston.
Her husband?
Yes, he did win.
What Eastern Kingston is between Port Royal and where Powell, eh?
Yeah, man, out Port Royal way in the
And then find him on the road on a live with him on him thinking I'm on. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he was an army man, right?
Yes, he was a soldier.
Yeah, me remember that big story there. Yeah.
Hold on, the guy. Alton, where you say I was banded in?
Him name Captain Wembley.
Captain Wembley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me know him good.
Unruly.
A Philip Wade pretty mean.
Everything up.
You hear me?
Yeah, man. You know
Philip Wade?
Yeah.
Anybody know Philip Wade?
Hold on there, sir. Alton. Well, so everything active?
Man, everything active down here, man. It's two-sided campaign, but you don't know, say, Northwest St. Elizabeth.
You don't say every time you come on the live, me always have to get a call or something. First, which side you come from again?
Northwest St. Elizabeth, man.
Northwest,
Make it turn up properly for me.
That Witter, right?
Nah, man, Northwest.
Northwest. Who there Northwest?
Let me see. JC Hutchins about in step down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good, man. No good.
Yeah, man. Labor right at this territory over 30 a year now.
Cleve Lewis.
Remember
Cleve Lewis? Remember Cleve Lewis?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question, Mr. West St. Elizabeth?
Yeah.
All right. JLP has been there for 30 odd years. Have you seen anything different?
Any change of hope?
No, I'm saying, have you okay, all right. Let me change it, rephrase. Has the constituency been any different from the other constituencies that have been in the PNP's hands?
I'm on the PNP and this and then Labor.
I know. So I'm asking you, since the JLP has been there for 30 odd years, how has they done? How has they done? Have they done good? You see in the PNP area them better, or the JLP area better? Has Mr. Hutchinson been putting in the work?
But all in the area of JLP now, so them a work.
Well, all right. In the 30 odd year. Remember say PNP the whole long government 18 years, no so?
Good, yeah, good.
I never get no help. Right.
He never get
That's
no
why
help.
me come up, you know. That's why me come up to answer.
Get help, you know. When Bruce Golding win 2007.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, well, when Bruce Golding win 2007, he start work for Andeso. Remember say PNP
and you know why that happened?
What?
Remember say PNP
you know why?
Make him finish now.
Make him finish.
PNP they win back 2011, so think kind of the shift back. So you see from 2016 till now, whole for work are gone, man. He fix whole for road and whole for money send up on farmer.
So you know. Alright, so that's why I come up, because we never know if he would be able to answer, but this is why they put in the Constituency Development Fund. Because what PNP used to do was to give only the PNP and leave the JLP seat them without nothing. So I think the phrase was there will be no more capping a hand to beg, where MPs have to go to whoever finance minister for beg. So that's why Bruce Golding put in the Constituency Development Fund. While he may have been there 30 years, as the gentleman say, the government at the time was not assisting him, giving him anything, right? So I just loyalty, being loyal to the Labour Party, why it remained, because he was not able to do anything. Literally. Okay, and I ask this question only because sometimes when persons are in government for a period of time, they becomes they become complacent, the right word, right? They becomes complacent. So that's why I ask.
You see, for years we're in there. For years we're in there, no. I feel him see it first all year little here in St. Elizabeth, no.
Okay, that's good. True.
He's a man of the silent.
I was disappointed the PNP them. I was saying I'm gonna lose. As I with him see it. That's true, man.
Okay.
Alright, you see
Politics,
the lady
remember, say, I feel me and your friend in a politics.
the lady with them put for run against the,
No, but when I think, sorry for cut today, when I think I'm married to him, and then he come back, boy, when I got tired for you to talk about blow that pool. You hear a man come out and say the reason why I must step down because the Prime Minister say surprise him. Everybody so surprise him. The man said the reason why he stepped down is a trouble in a sense. You see where blow that pool come out with?
Mm-hmm.
In Lashika.
Yeah, me see it. Yeah, man.
That's why him step down in our he want to go help because trouble him so it's
And he's needed. He's
Yes,
needed.
yes.
Hey.
That person
Remember say too, you know. Remember say him when shadow minister for agriculture, you know.
Yes.
A whole heap of thing
So
in do. Alright, you see now Ivan and them thing there. A whole heap of farmers in bus.
But when sure,
Well, I love
guys,
here when
Connecting to that,
the
me, I
MP
go give me
work,
box, me, I go and
love here
listen.
when they work, man. I love here when they
before
work.
Lashika, when sure, him and one I selfish one, we just I think about themselves.
You know, right? Like what we
Hey.
are see.
Yes.
Politics and Lashika. JC Hutchinson is so effective in that neck of the wood, you know. You know, say when Roger Clark left Westmoreland and come to our campaign, in go at JC Hutchinson yard every Saturday man go take him out and walk and campaign them to tell people that say JC Hutchinson and campaign manager. in a joining can't no, I serious something.
Politics me I laugh, you know. Politics me I laugh, you know, because I remember what you say, you know, politics more be friend, you know.
When I had this thing, remember say Westmoreland, you know. You see Westmoreland I did PNP territory, you know. And you see 2020. At that time when they go down, they go campaign, you know.
Yeah,
I
man.
hear Wami last night. Hear Wami last night. Wami.
And take away a couple of them seats from down there.
And really, hear Wamington say last night. He said 8 seats in the West. He said 8 seats in the West. He's using his own resources and he's going to campaign in them seat there.
Like that.
PNP now win them back.
Yes, she can. Say my brother, only my brother.
To be honest, you know.
And them have a jack, what are they good on them?
14 seats they have in a parliament, you know.
Rami a general, you know.
If after
Fire that, you know, fire, bro.
Let the man know how to do that.
What me say, him a work for Andrew, and him a make sure Andrew go back for the third term. When we do it, man, in good.
What sweet me last night? And when he said I retired, I'm unretire myself.
Yeah, man, how much time you want to retire?
Why me a big man, you know? Why me in my 70s, you know? Why me a big man?
Yeah, man.
But to the
But you know, looking here.
Yeah, but him looking age. Look like in his 60s, too.
Why me a 72?
Well, go on good.
You never hear Favor say me hear the mayor Kingston and say him a grill up the thing, but a one grill me I think but a prison grill.
What is a Favor broke out last night? Me have to say we then get a broke out Favor.
Me searched the internet last night for one live and couldn't find none.
Me scream out last night, you know.
Don't not save them thing and pass it on, man.
Love them keep about him a grill up the thing. I want grill me a think about another prison grill.
Yeah, man. Me say when you Favor, so yeah, me but then girl broke out Favor, man.
Yeah, man, I broke out. You know, so you ever get your broke out? Your coat and shell.
She have to.
You know, say Andrew never broke out and shell. When they just come in and my mama PD go against each other. Andrew just come out and shell, you know. Andrew never was a war boy, you know. Andrew was always quiet.
Andrew a lion, Andrew bad long time.
Yeah.
Andrew adjust himself. He adjust himself to certain situation.
Right.
The man Andrew don't serve. God please Andrew serve. Yeah, Andrew don't serve.
He must stay.
Yes, you know if you adjust man strategy this man.
I walk over, you know. I know that. But what I'm saying to you, He did not want
Andrew
to go
is a
down that
lion. Andrew is
He's
a
a
Leo.
lion, but you
Andrew
don't
is a
trouble the lion
lion.
while him asleep.
Andrew
That is
tough,
When he
Andrew.
man.
ready for,
Tough on
and
that way plenty people think.
when he ready
We
for
know that.
roar is a different thing.
We know that. But me I say I come out stronger and stronger each time.
Listen to this.
One
Gameplay upon the
person
same.
this
Listen to
really
this.
surprised
Listen to
me.
this. I'll show it, Andrew.
Yeah.
2 gameplay upon the same board. Chess and draw play upon the same board, don't
Exactly.
it? But 2 different games, don't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. At the same board they play upon, you know, but 2 different games.
2 different games.
Okay,
Right.
chess and media game.
Politics, you know, me I go and
Alright.
listen because me I do some little things, right? I
Come on,
say
man.
I go get connecting
You
the
see what
back.
me say? You see what me say? Andrew doing in constituency we don't come into any Bell Rock.
Yeah, man. Them also them nice community.
At that me know say Andrew. At that me know say Andrew a sniper.
Yo,
You know, you
the first time I see that place, you know. Well, I know. The first time I see that place, you know. I check some fire, you know. I did don't realize that I don't like a man constituency, you know. I look on the good, you know. And it's I'm seeing them come around now.
So was it the seat? So was it Bell Rock when you just take it over?
Me watch it, man. I see picture it, man.
Anybody watch the live with the PNP them in Andrew constituency?
Oh, hold on. I just talk about that, you know. Andrew have a like a part in our constituency where he hate him like Kaiser.
I thought was CY Drive.
A part of Waterhouse is
Upper
Waterhouse.
No man, what CY Drive got? Upper Roberts division.
That's what they have the meeting last night.
What I mean, Patrick Roberts.
Patrick Roberts division.
Up there, so they did have meet last night.
Upper Tanquil.
CY
Upper
Drive.
Tanquil. Yeah man,
CY
Upper
Drive.
Go back to
Tanquil.
Mulline Road. Mulline Road side.
See what drive. Run us on him.
Go back to Mulline Road.
Anybody
Yeah.
watching live what they did have last night? The meet
Remember
where
when
they
in
did have-
when in that part of in constituency, Ellie Avenue, Juiceland,
Ellie Avenue and
constituency,
Them did have meeting
And
in
Balmore,
Andrew
right.
constituency, man.
Yeah?
Yes, them have meeting in Andrew constituency.
Who are there?
Is it the little PMP spot there,
The-
like Ellie Avenue, Juiceland,
Mama Lashley did there because
Juiceland, Eddie Avenue, that's across
a part
Marley.
of Andrew constituency. Remember one time Andrew watched
And him
Ellie
a-
Avenue
him a
one
little
time
piece.
and him that cost.
PMP have a support in a mall road too. Run.
You see me? What may I say? Remember the time when Andrew watch what in a Juiceland? Remember the time when Andrew watch Juiceland?
Yeah.
Yeah, then constituency and then that cause that way my watch you Yafa. Most of them don't get
Yeah.
PNP, remember that?
Eddie Avenue, that's over the bridge of Waterhouse.
Yeah, na Juiceland, Ellie Avenue, Juiceland. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why me ask
You
where
right,
them have
somebody
the
have to
meeting
tell
because to all them attack.
Alright, somebody come on, Mark. Mark know everything. Mark, come tell me.
Which part they have the meeting in Andrew constituency because me hear Dayton Campbell attack in Andrew constituency. And him
Yeah,
have
man, Buchanan did it.
Man, before I want them be that present the candidate they attack.
Buchanan did it.
And last night, them did their rural last
I
night.
suppose the last week.
Yeah, last week. when
also
them-
I did live me that watch then.
When they go down there and nobody not turn out.
No, but then
I
they are
see
not to all them did that. You hear me say put on my watch?
No, cause people come well now if you watch
Ready?
now. Before it
At
meet
two
no
place.
start, nobody
At
no
two place in a Andrew constituency PMP can get any gathering. A Mall Road, run where Ninja Man people
Right.
come from, or CY
Yeah.
Drive.
And see what
And the-
drive.
But Mall Road fall in a civil right division. So a feather the council and feather and thousand. Are the council for that pick up the so. So although them have a little PMP packet, are still a JLP councillor, a one PMP councillor in another constituency there. A Patrick Roberts of a CY division.
One now, one thing see your background ever.
Politics.
Yeah, my boss.
Yeah, I was last week I need to shake your brother for me to watch it. I go up on the live and watch it. But you know me brawling. We're watching it until never hot. You see it, me not watch it last week, man. And thing, man. Yeah, them right, man, and thing, man. You see me I deal it. But if we just work towards it, the triple, you know. Me not gonna do no double finger, I do 3 finger. Trust me. Me soon can we go on to see live.
Alright, boy.
Kids say the honest things.
But Andrew a real worker, man. Oh, Crummers, you know the history of that seat there? Anybody know our history of that seat there?
No.
From 40
Further up,
years.
Oh, the
And
history of that
Thompson.
seat, you know. Then
Yeah.
fight, and it come like, you know, the devil know when the devil do when they got to success, you try to stop in every way. You know. You know, say, 1 year after them swearing, and
No,
1
it
year
didn't
after
cause problem. Politics. Remember saying yeah.
The man about 3 times that one election they running.
Yeah, and it decided 1997. See, like Shane Robinson, where they won the by-election, March. She win the by-election in March 1997 or 2000, at the same time, it decide. And from that, you know, go back again.
Them even tamper with the vote, them, you know, one at a time, the last one, one at a time, them give PMP winning without 4 box division for me.
Counted. Yeah, man, they no quote it. You go finalize.
He go a court and run over again and win handsomely.
All right. You see the general election and politics?
Yeah.
You have two brothers around there. The two of them dead now. Fuzzy. A Manchester, they come from, they come from Harrywatch. A Fuzzy stuff the ballot box, you know.
The PMP.
The PMP, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, man, Fuzzy.
Somebody, when I tell you, so why vote a turnout used to so high? Box go a polling station full of already.
Virgin.
Back in the day.
Politics, I'm coming into that here.
It never have to go full in politics. You know, because me used to work as a presiding officer back in the days, in those days. So it never have to go full because me see some things happen. It never have to go full. The only thing what I can say, we used to get surplus ballots. So for instance, we have 2,000 voters. We used to get 3,500 ballot paper for what? Because we only have 2,000 electors. So why would you give us so many ballot papers if you weren't expecting something to be done?
Remember, say Sister P get 15,800 votes in one election and a 14,000 registered and a seat and the JLP get voted.
No. Thank you. Thank you.
Yo, one love. Tell
you guys say nothing more.
Most of them election there.
One love
PMP with a PGA. Well, listen, I said, we're telling you, most of them election there. Politics.
Yeah, man.
Most of them election there, the PMP win, especially in the PGA time. A thief actually the crowd voters instead of thief them election there.
You're not listening.
Thief them election there. Them no win them, thief them.
I want to tell politics something about the same man Jones constituency there. When
AJ Nicholson win,
yes, when AJ Nicholson
win nothing fear.
Yes, when AJ Nicholson win Captain Captain Francis. You see the same man where Washington DC go demonstrate against the government. He run another seat then.
Yeah, but them lose. No, another seat there.
Yeah, man, he run and lose, man. Brother, me no campaign for the man. Captain Francis run only as for the JLP ticket, man. And AJ Nicholson beat him.
Oh, what era?
Watch me now. You see the election there? The biggest family in the constituency there, them named Ferran. The biggest family.
Yeah, the Ferran.
And about 98% of them are labor right. You know what they do? Yeah. When the Ferran go back a polling station to vote.
Well, they vote already.
All of them take off a voters list. And I ask me somebody that I tell her that. The biggest family in the constituency are the Ferran. And they own the most place in there apart from Blackwood and Hamilton. Then take all the money.
That can't again do. Them are people out that war. I put.
And AJ win. The same brother again when he in Fuzzy. That are the first election Fuzzy thief. AJ Nicholson.
You know what
I mean? Rum packet, name bucket.
You know Francis is very, very, very good. Captain Francis.
You know run for the JLP ticket, run him?
Yeah.
Alton.
Alton.
What?
Eh?
Hold on one love.
Yeah.
Did you know a man named Thompson run for the seat all up here one time? A red brother.
KP Thompson. He died.
Yeah.
I'm a lad
Thompson
brother.
attack.
I'm a lad brother.
No, don't do Thompson.
No man, he died.
No.
He died and just come on, wig and dress and fire gunshot off of the other right.
Yeah, for all Alton.
Eh?
Hold on one love for his shit.
We can't hear you.
Yeah.
Carl Thompson.
For you see back in the place here, still, like I don't want to drive and somebody was labor writing about it. If you read the history, they can show you know. Change. I will read the history about it.
And they run on the labor right, the man shoot them out of the place.
And burn out their house.
Yeah.
Mark
Exactly.
be from remember and growing.
Oh.
Yeah, you know, I realize that one love. But watch out, you know, say, if you don't read still, if I want to go over the meeting over there at Portmore, I was telling them something, what do you think has been properly about Portmore municipality? Tell them that they say Labour JLP start build Portmore and them start go on. Where did they never show? Everything when we talk about the history we about coming down, it show one love and them look away. So them feel admit the fact. But if I know what say I got, there was be no Portmore today.
Yeah, they can't leach out. Burn them.
Yeah, you can't man and the truth. That's how them stay. Them not read. You see me at the daily, I'm a man read and them can wait. All I want
You don't see nobody never know that though. Mark, nobody never know that.
No,
They shot fear in the day, you know. People never hear that, you know.
Listen up, 1966-67 budget, August 7. I say I can read out the budget of the Portmore, right? You have a man named John Gale from now St. Louis that start the land lease business.
Well, Mark Nation. It start before that. It start before that. That's why they have independence. That's why they have independence from 1962. Yes.
61 it start, man.
Yeah, but you must say one love. You have a man named John Gale. John Gale, you know. Listen about John Gale, you know. John Gale the first man in a Bustamante cabinet start the land lease business. Where you hear them try gravel up. And then the Jamaica Labour Party. The adult literacy program, a man named Joyce Bennett. And then the same Bustamante and then change it to Jamal. You understand me? You see the sin, the NISB didn't call it sin. It was a GLP man. Alright.
No,
Robert
GLP
like bro
started.
now. Yeah. Robert like bro now I'm trying to start the trade and commerce business.
Right.
And them people say man them start or them most of them man.
Like
Yeah. Yes, one love, but them not read. If you not read the history, you're not going no forward in the brother. You have to read the history, you know. And
Right.
that
You see
them
the
some
lady-
people understand.
You see the lady
Go
that
ahead,
was
one
minister. You see the lady when him Lightburn when didn't have Bruce Wayne administration.
Dorothy Lightburn.
Okay,
Dorothy.
A Lightburn daughter.
All right. Hold on, Alton. You see the man, the BOJ governor named Winter, you know, say Hector Winter son do. The man who former BOJ governor. Did you know that?
No, I never know.
Hold on. Why you not come on 5 program and go do something?
How that?
Hold on, I'm just talk to my friend, man. Politics, me I walk up on the road, you know. I mean, I see what a person is.
I know you may talk to you, know, Mark.
Oh. Well, listen to me, you know.
But hola. Where you go about me part? Tell me.
No, man.
Mark is easy, you know. I want to be marking out politics in a jump kitchen, you know.
So when
and I comment, I say 2 party.
But this person shouldn't be here typing. If she know why here, if she know why here, what am I doing?
Yeah. You see, when you get a PMP, you start to text and think like that. You see, when you get a PMP, you start think and text like that. It simply means that them start to put reality to life and logics. So them not really cross over yet, but them kind of understand. So them at the level now, them at the average now, when they say the 2 parties are the same. So them have to put over
learn history about 2 parties.
Yeah, them learn
2 parties different. As far as the east and the west are two, as for the 2 parties them stay. As far as the east and the west, completely different.
I turn them a turn chromas. Them a turn. So they reach at the point now where them about to step over, but they don't really want ego. Now go make them just step over so. You might be finding something else to say.
Real. All right. What do you think some people in the 90s said a PNP, the PNP be so once in the 90s a Portmore when Labour Party to power. And listen, it's a Greater Portmore. Greater Portmore did name Great Salt Pan Lake. See, I got it out. You see,
Oi, you see the palm title, man. I got it name, man. Up till now, I got the palm title.
All right. So you see the line I tell? Great Salt Pan Lake.
Great Salt Pan Lake.
Oh.
I changed it to Greater Portmore just to change. Like, brother, go on. They said a lie, me I tell one love. So you said a lie, me I tell you. So you say reading is good. If I say I have the blueprint already, you know. The artist done design everything Greater Portmore, you know. I saw it money everything, you know, brother. So then the read, brother. And then they talk.
Yo, 90%, you
know. Some people, you know.
Well, if you know this, you know, 99% of Jamaica build up on a Labour government, you know, man. All high-rise and building, waterfront, everywhere, you know. We need to build right now, man. Jamaica Labour Party, we building up.
Correct.
Physical policies, we build very proper policies. But watch out, compulsory education, you know. A PNP come stop that, you know. Compulsory education means every child have to go to school, you know, every child have to learn, you know. And they start that in the 70s. You know them in the Alton?
Yeah, man.
Alright.
PNP
bring in Jamal.
PNP don't do nothing for Jamaica. Nothing.
I saw them stay Alton.
PNP though. All PNP that pirate. Take things and copy and change the name them and try hold it.
Right.
If you follow PNP that feels a PNP build every school in Jamaica. They talk about education like. I know people know say if you follow them and hear them talk and the propaganda in the streets, and them a tap education and they build all the school in Jamaica. Labour Party not build none. So they go on. I know people them not read. I want them to tell one PNP bridge them here about the Rasta one. But then say PNP that build an hospital, the man I wrote me down to rat it.
PNP build no hospital.
He never know.
No.
And them not build an hospital like that. All of the hospital them before colonial, so what they build a colonial and they after get independent Labour Party build the rest of them.
Yeah,
that's what them do before independence. Them go hospital under the colonial. Like a public from colonial and like a public own.
Romans, the way your PNP is stupid, you see? The way your PNP is stupid. Listen to the narrative. Listen to the narrative where they create and then believe. The first election, they say Buster Manti had done, you know, and Norman Manley a scholar. But Buster Manti was able. But Buster Manti was able to win, to defeat him, street and lane.
Right. And they call it sausage government and gully government. So supposedly
Buster Manti have the common sense and the vision.
So when Buster Manti go at a university at Cuba, Panama and Cuba, and the university of Buster Manti go at Panama.
Now man them want federation now. What the West Indies.
No, I said the university of Buster go at university at Cuba.
Yeah.
Buster talk fluent Spanish, you know. The Manley never talk, but then say Buster done, and then actually believe it.
Remember, say the man is writing a newspaper in a Gleaner, you know, man. Remember, say the man is writing and write letters to London and them thing there. That's a Buster Manti, you know. Man educated, man. He might have been a road scholar, but the man a bright man differently. Like now, man, Manley. See, but the man was not done.
The man, they never like poor people.
Those PNP propaganda just they do for ever since from Buster Manti days. They might try to demonize the leader. They start from Buster Manti. Because they might demonize him. Tell her whoop a life on him too. You see me? Yeah, same thing the Dr. Rasta they talk about this about when they talk about Carl God, when they talk about. When they say the Rasta they bring them in dead or alive or something like so. The propaganda not never go so. Buster Manti never said that. I'll let me take on the state.
Nah, man, the first lack of Rasta.
No, man, they're the first man to persecute the Rasta them. No, man, they're the first. Him use the word dread, that's why they don't like the word dread. Him call them dread. The dread is dread, then dreadful. You never know?
Yeah.
Don't people don't know the mystery there. And somebody look so-called that all Rasta them know. And they want to switch it to the Carl Garden, so they want to switch it.
Yeah, they want to switch it.
What nobody know about the first time when they persecute them. The Red Hills raid, they made up the hill there in 1959, 60 or whatever. 58,
When them kill people them, when them kill other people them.
Yeah. No, they go up there, so hope I rusted up in the hills there. And then go up there, see similar
kill
thing.
soldier. Yeah,
Yes, and
kill some soldier.
Red Hills, they call it the Red Hills raid. Now, Mama, that's before Carl Garden incident. So now, Mama, they first man persecute the Rasta them. They have one of them blind, they have no amnesia, and remember them the history there. They don't Rasta them.
A PMP, I think a PMP said police were pinning to you know.
And to the honorable Prime Minister, God, hold on. We are get really bad when I like how this start off. When the Prime Minister will be paid, bro. Once the PM go live with his swarm of people, the PMP are coming for me and win over there.
Yeah, we don't do that all the while, Comas. We do that all the while, you know. Remember,
I'm go live later.
What time? Yeah, we are following page.
It has started.
When you following, can we get the notification?
We get notification.
Every time we get to the thing, so many planning.
We have to support.
So we want to go for the man paid for right up to and sitting.
Yeah, man, so we have to depend on it.
You know, so we don't never go on a MacBook volunteer.
I would tell her.
I don't never do it.
I would tell her.
You have to be naive. You have to go look at them and say, people over there, man.
No, man, no, you that.
What do you mean? Yeah, politics. After that, is politics and sports, bro. Yo, what do you mean? What do you mean? You know? I'm going to come out, you know.
With them say you're 5 baby mother PMP.
No, I'm not 5 baby mother.
So much you have?
No, say that. What kind of 5 baby mother that? We married 5 baby mother. I want baby mother me have.
Oh, you're 5 girl. A PMP.
Them in a woman really better than baby brother as a youth coming up, brother. I say it go, you know. I say it go.
Hola, you still go a fall much?
No, I can't look at them people. I soon start selling, open my business, you know. I'm soon selling and buy something at China, you know. And me my daughter, I'm selling deal with it for me, you see. I my daughter youth at 27 years old, you know.
Okay.
I'm never grand picking it up. You see.
Claudia Fox says she know Fuzzy.
Yeah.
Okay. And the only man I know sleep on a 6 inches wall and turn and a drop off, you know. I headquarters love and be fan road.
What? Yeah, one love. I want me to tell you one love. We have to out and running enough. I see me this selection here. I get physically down way to my knowledge, you know.
No, why would I call them physical?
No, Clarendon. But you may say to be frank and to be fair.
Why you can't say it's gonna be a peaceful election?
No, man,
Yeah,
they not have a peaceful election. Don't no make me hide something.
No, may I say
No, we not have to speak it into being.
Yeah, may I say peaceful?
Yeah, me understand politics and sports. Me understand. And you know them love them narrative. That's why I say them have mental vengeance again. Pick it on them. Where am I try send? Where am I try signal to you know? And you pick me. You know why you can't people come with them type of way then? Whenever I say get pick it on them. You know, I saw them stay, bro. I saw them stay, brother.
Don't you think when the Gensec, the people Gensec say anything it takes to get rid of this man, we have to get rid of Andrew. What do you think?
Them not like Andrew, listen, them not like him, you know. Them not like him, you know. Them don't like him. Them afraid of him.
I'm not estimate to my boss because I don't think I'm gonna prepare for this.
I am there afraid of it.
Of course he's gonna be prepared for
Politics. I'm just smart, you know. Listen up. I'm just smart, intellectual, brother. No, you saw him look. A July man.
I fought election this Saturday going as leader, brother. What do you expect?
Yes, I use experience. I put my scarlet, baby Andrew.
I know him man smart, him know everything, man. And I like a baby.
Politics, remember I know. You think it take a man easy for work when I do a speech and not remember people like Porsche and some of them.
Oh yeah,
You man have to
honestly,
do
that below with him though, the man now any function the man going to make a strong presentation.
Speech.
Yeah. Looking on a paper or nothing.
Paper.
They call that confident experience.
Experience is a good leader, that brother.
And the man
Yeah, well
intelligent. Wiki.
Alright, politics. You see one girl on Westmoreland one day, they're a judge right now, they're not a place. Forget the house. The labor girl.
Yeah.
You see the woman drop down, you live in high water. You ever see that they drop down? She feel pain,
Yeah, man.
She faint over there, yeah. Just see, man.
I don't lie, me I take. I don't know me not tell. Me they and them be one here.
Remember the them show you on it, yeah.
One lady
go
was
live with
on
it.
her little daughter.
Yeah.
And me just when she, me never see Prime Minister. Me just when she pull with her and me just when she pull with her and pull out her mother and I run gone to her. It's like call her crowd. When me look, guess how me see her come.
Market.
Gambler market. And no, honestly, nobody no look.
Alright, politics. Look at Hanover here. Greg Oates is the drone. I need 50 people there, the man, brother.
Hold on, what Greg Oates try say? Me see him in a green jacket. What him
Greg
try
Oates
say?
say, look, shaky, no good for him.
No, what him a say? Him change over Arwa. What him a do?
You ever do my one, like, you know? You might carry feelings, but I don't feel like my change over still. You see me a deal it.
Me not feel
You see me a say, I must. Me not change over, man. You see me a deal it, but watch out. You know, say between
You must say we don't use it to take the information, and we must say we take that the advantage, but we don't need them the money over our side with them.
Yeah, you're right.
So we have the information there, you know. Sometimes it's good for you enough, yeah, but if you gear, we are stick them at them pussy clad. Sorry, me long.
I'm not bother with them.
You know you're a child of God, brother. But sometimes you have to use something in your advantage and not say you have disband them enough. You see how them say, I know over there east and west, don't take their brown light, you know.
No,
don't
man,
take their brown light.
But dear brown have the experience, you know, a we are.
Yeah, 2 term. Yeah, and if I'm a police and I don't know them come from, so I don't know, maybe don't want to look at eye popping and want me to go down there, look at Jamaica day. For them, I give her strength, you know. Them going to give her strength. But enough people there that Cascade, Bentley, Aim and them place in them place there. From Jack to them places Hanover and them place there. You see, Cascade and them place there. Bentley, Aim and them place.
But yeah, one of them guys all over the country too, man.
No, myself. No, listen now. Myself drive and sell it now. So we drive through them passion for the farm. Montego Bay, go drive. I check and drive a park golf and boga. Anchovy up on the hill so and you can go straight to Hanover and thing and them places.
Man,
you see?
all of them places, man.
So I don't lie, me I tell you.
Great people.
How
you judge right answer Patricia Duncan said and tell her
yeah, him not alive, him wife is alive.
I'm your truly judge, right?
Simple context.
That's a code.
Simple. A code that you might tell her that, you know. You want no more than that, you know. You don't want nothing more than that for you, they might tell you that. Yeah, man.